Yo, 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 we live. Urban Matters, BMG. Let's get it.
That just do whatever the Democrats and everybody else tell them to do. So we've been told for a long time that all our roots go back to Africa and everything is about Africa, and you don't have no culture. You attribute everything to Africa. So with that mindset, anybody and everybody could just come be a part of our culture. And we just allow them. You spread your cheeks to some Africans, to some Jamaicans, to whoever, right? You don't gatekeep nothing in your culture. That's what a lot of our people been taught. That's why, listen, pay attention, no emotion. That's why people like the Fat Joes and all these other guys from the Caribbean come and say, well, hip hop started in the Caribbean and then it went back to Africa. Other groups can come here and cosplay as us, right? While putting nothing back into the community. That's our fault because we've been trained to just do that. Just surrender everything over. So now when you have the grassroots saying, yo, we ain't doing that no more. We locking the doors. You got to ring the doorbell and show your paperwork. You got to show who you are. A lot of people got a problem with that, right? Tasha K knew exactly what she was doing with her platform. She used her platform to denigrate us. I'm not trying to hear she didn't know what FBA mean or who it was. That's bullcrap, right? And FBA is a lineage of people. You got the Hebrew Israelites in the part of FBA lineage, Nation of Islam, Sunni Muslims, Christians. We come from all different places. We not all the same. So for her to just label, because somebody said something about her husband, label us as a group when she know damn well who we are, that was problematic and a suspect. I'm looking at her side eye, right? The same way Roland Martin and all them people do it. And she's FBA. She's FBA. She's married to an African man. She has one Bahamian grandfather, but you got 4 grandparents, right? She's FBA. But again, I told you guys, some of our biggest detractors are going to be our own people because they don't understand how to love each other. And a lot of our people don't understand how to gatekeep. We've been trained to give everything away. We don't know how to gatekeep. It's the younger generation that's saying, yo, we gatekeeping. We not doing it the old way no more. I know Big Mama loved everybody, but Big Mama, we can't love everybody no more because they not loving us back, right? And that's where we at. So now, when she went on that rant, she's been forced to apologize because inside her comment section, when she was making that, man, her fans, most of her fans is FBA. They was lighting her ass up. Now she talked, so she had to come back and do this.
To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, to anybody that I've offended, I didn't mean to offend you. I don't do that. I want any and everybody to be up in here having a good time. Lately, on social media, given the Nolan Wells situation, I mean, just any and everything that has to do with our culture, our people, Blacks as a whole, for some reason, I have been dragged into these conversations. So yesterday's show, had me fired up because to refer to my family, and I get it, everybody has, they say any and everything about my family, but to see, I guess, them say that I don't somehow care about my people because I married an African man. To refer to me and my platform or my husband as booty scratcher. Now he laughed about it, it's fine. But for me, I don't know, that hit different because I got a son. And to see our own Black people, like, that's cool. So here's the thing. And everybody's entitled, but here's the thing. I didn't have to react that way because at the end of the day, when I get up here, whether I make $1 or not, and I was unmonetized on this platform for a long time. To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, I wholeheartedly apologize. All I saw was divisiveness, and I saw a group of people attacking me, attacking my family. So I attacked back. So I'm grateful to my winos that are on the app that are educating me, that are emailing me, that are apologizing for, I guess, the few bad actors that are out there. But when you do Google it, that's all that comes up. Divisiveness. I don't know who's representing y'all's lineage or our lineage, because I'm from America. I was born here, my mom was born here. One thing that bothers me is when I see black on black, like, racism. I'm completely ignorant when it comes to this movement. I just know how I felt when I was attacked, when my family was attacked, and I decided to just, here we go. I will lend my platform on Sunday. I want the people that y'all listen to, if they are true educators in this FBA lineage, I want to talk to them. There are a lot of people that are just like me that are confused, generally confused about what this is. Please email me, unwindwithtasha@gmail.com. Let me know who are your teachers when it comes to the FBA lineage. If it's a great thing, I would love to open up my platform to educate more about it.
Now again, Tasha's FBA, but she's ignorant just like a lot of our family members at the barbecue, right? She comes online and she destroys a lot of foundational black Americans on her platform every day. But the minute somebody says something about her African husband, she went ham. He laughed about it, but she went ham. She don't feel no type of way when she's using her platform to denigrate other foundational black Americans, because a lot of our people, that's what we've been conditioned to do. We'll hurt each other, right? But we'll go protect the Jamaicans and the Africans and the W man and all these other, but we won't do the same thing for each other. But the foundational grassroots black Americans, we ain't doing that no more. We cutting that short, because we know we've been getting shorter than a stick, because we've been conditioned to go to bat and hard for everybody else but ourselves, but our own people. We're not doing that no more. So of course she's going to call it what she calls a group, right? She's going to call us a group and call us all kinds of, all these different things, because a lot of our people ain't used to us doing for ourselves. A lot of people ain't used to us gatekeeping our own stuff. We not just letting everybody in no more. Everybody can't come in. So Tasha been able to just run wild, disrespect other FBAs, and the minute they disrespected her and her husband, look how she reacted. To the point now you gotta apologize because your foundational black American fan base said, no, we ain't having it. And then the sister called up and just gave you some real straight.
Left behind because we're putting too much into an organization instead of ourselves. Okay. That's a problem. I indirectly helped you to get to where you are. But as soon as I expressed to you about how an organization treated me and how I see it, I have African children. I have an African husband. Now you're disappointed with me, even though you knew that I was married to an African, but yet you want me to talk down on that part.
When did I say that I want you to talk down?
I think you're coming in here saying that you're upset about.
Well, I should say I'm disappointed. No. I should say I'm disappointed in the opinion. I think you don't understand it. I didn't come on here telling you to talk down to your husband. I would never do that at all anyway, because who
said I didn't understand it?
No, I said, I don't think you understand it, because you're saying, well, you want me to talk down. And that's not true. I don't want you to talk down about that. I actually follow you as well as your husband on social media and have been for years. I do have Africans that are married into my family.
I do have Africans. That's like saying I have white people that are friends. Listen to me. Listen. What I'm saying, and look, you have every right to be upset with me about my opinion.
I'm not upset with you. I think you just don't understand it, and maybe you take offense.
I think I do understand it. I think I read, and I have taken my opinion based off of the information that I see and the divisiveness that I'm seeing that is causing, because the mere fact I got FBA members calling my family booty scratchers.
They also, and some of them, and I'm gonna just say this loosely, my family's listening to, because we all listen to you, but they also, my thing is, it's not a movement, it's a lineage. I will say that, and you don't have to agree with that. I definitely wanted to come on and say that. And as far as your husband first of all, as far as your children, anything like that, I don't think you understand it. And I say that because no, I don't see myself ever being disrespectful to you or to your husband, even the people in my family. But if it's 50 million people, it's a lineage. It's not a movement. It's not an organization. Umar, and I also want to note this: Umar is not FBA. And the same way, I will say
Oh
there are
yeah, you're
some
right. He's Pan African. I forgot. Y'all don't believe in that either.
Well, first, you don't know what I believe in because
I'm just
everybody.
saying, if you're FBA,
No,
the Pan
we don't. We
that's
all, but
direct.
we all don't have. We all no, no, no. You can be FBA, still appreciate Africans. I think the thing is, and I'm just being honest. A lot
Okay.
of people have put up with. No, because you're upset that you think that I'm attacking you or whatever. And no, but I will say this: it's not divisive. You just haven't met all of us. Now, what I won't do, I appreciate everybody, but what you're not going to do, and that's as far as African, they have pejorative terms for us as a group. We have been known as an Akata, a Jank, a Yankee, all these things. And that has been over the years, even in the 60s, 70s, and before that. A person who ran across that border today and anchored themselves here by the 14th Amendment that was meant for the babies of slaves is not the same. That is a melanated immigrant. Everybody originated from Africa. Let's understand that, everybody, including white
White
people.
people.
But if it's divisive for some FBA to label their lineage, then it's just as divisive when nobody says anything about, oh, they're Bahamian American or they're Caribbean American. It's not the same thing. There
Or
is a
Jamaican.
difference. We all were enslaved, but there is a difference from us and a boat stop. And that's only offensive because we're telling the truth. For years, a lot of these people, not all, because I don't classify all, even though you're sitting here classifying all FBA as the same. No, ma'am. All of us are not. But what they're not going to do is sit up here and disrespect us. And I hear you saying that some FBA do can be disrespectful to Africans. I will admit that. But I haven't heard you once say, because you labeling all of us, that some of them call us a Jareer
Yeah, I
and a
know it's
Kata,
upsetting.
cotton picker, all these things. Let's be clear. Your boat stop, we all have a boat stop. That's damn true. That's very true. But you left your boat stop to
Let's
come
check.
to this boat stop. We had an ethnogenesis. We are different. If it's not wrong for someone to label themselves as Caribbean American and they left their boat stop or their parents came here and anchored them here with that 14th Amendment, it's not divisive. Now, I get it. Those people who you talk to, they offended you and they wanted, I guess you to call him a African booty scratcher. Have I heard that term? Absolutely. I ain't never been one to lie. But what I won't do is sit here and deny the fact that many of these people have sat their behind up here. Not all, because I can't do all, because I know some cool ass Africans. And I've had this tough conversation with family. I've had this tough conversation even with friends, but that's what makes us different. But at the end of the day, I haven't heard you say nothing about how some of them call us an Akata. That's a Nigerian word. It has many different meanings, but that some of them, not all, use it as a pejorative term against Black Americans. Now, FBA has nothing to do with a movement. It is a lineage. It is people who pretty much have been here either before the 1865 Freedmen Rolls, or your family can be identified on the Freedmen Rolls. That's all it is. Now, do some people use it in a bad way? Absolutely. 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 But no, it's not divisive. If it's divisive for us, then it's damn sure divisive for Caribbeans to come here and have their flag. It's why do we have to be a monolith if everybody else gets to identify with everything else? And I think that's the part that you're not understanding. They come here, some of them come here with an attitude. Clearly, your husband don't have that type of attitude because he married you who happened to be a Black American or a Florida Maroon. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to identify as, but by historic terms, and I'm a historian, you would be classified as a Maroon and you should be proud of that. That's not divisive. That just shows that you beat the white people's ass that came down there coming for your people. That's where you originated from. It's part of it. I don't know the whole thing. But some of them do not like us. And I think it's wrong for you to sit here and label all of us the same just because some idiots or some jackasses came to you and wanted you to call somebody African booty scratcher. When I sat here and I've been very respectful and I've said some of them, I would never label all of them as the same. They are our distant cousins. It's true. They are. They are very much. But some of them
If hold
don't
on, because
like us.
you've made a very strong point, and so you and I can agree on something.
Yeah, of
So
course.
there's a movement going on, whether it's an organization, and you guys
Mhm.
have a lot of teachers. And from what I've seen with
Mhm.
this foundational Black American movement, it's
Right.
been very discriminatory towards me from the beginning. From
Now I
the
will. Yeah.
beginning. And you
Yeah.
can't
You're
say,
right.
hold on, let me,
Mhm.
because I
You're
let you
right. No,
speak. I
I'm
did.
agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
And you made a strong point.
Mhm.
I don't hear women like you speaking about it because it is
Mhm.
labeled as another organization, not a
Mhm.
lineage. It hasn't been taught
Mhm.
to me like that. I don't
Mhm.
even look at it because I've already labeled it. It is something to divide us. Why
That's
would
why
I
I
want to
wanted
be
that, and that's
discriminated? No,
why I
I'm just
wanted.
saying. I'm
Yeah.
just
That's
saying
why I
based
wanted to
off of the
call in.
way,
Yeah. Yeah.
because this
That's
is
why I
not
wanted to call
something
in.
that's taught in.
How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for joining me. I'm just doing some research. That's what I like to do. I like to kind of scan the social medias and just kind of feel what the energy is. You had a few comments you wanted to discuss, and I wanted you to come live and talk about it because we're trying to get an understanding about this a lot of this weirdo type energy that's out there. So what's on your mind? Now we're live now. You do know we're live, right?
Well, I do know. I know now.
Okay, okay. All right.
Okay. Of course, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Okay, a lot of truths are being revealed, and it's just it's to be honest with you. For me, I'm so tired of so many things. Um,
And
you
thanks
know
for
they
being a supporter of the network. I see you popping in and out a lot, so thank you for that.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome because that's another thing too. We talk about supporting each other.
Right.
However, we have to actually put actions behind our words, just like when we say faith is dead without work. But for me, we're facing a lot of things that we've always faced,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's just prepackaged to look another way, but it's the same stuff.
Hmm.
Like I've just watched a video about how the money is going into other communities for new sidewalks. It's always been that way,
Hmm.
where I could be on our side of town. There's
Hmm.
always a railroad dividing, and then their side of town.
Yeah.
It's that way all over the United States, even though I have not been to all the states. But we all know that when you go to some other neighborhoods, you're not going to see several liquor stores. You're not going to see black hair product stores with the wigs. You're not going to see where they have buses coming in and out of the neighborhood. You're not going to see there's certain stores and certain businesses you're not going to see in certain neighborhoods. You know, however, uh, we I feel like as a woman of color, we're treated the worst on the planet. I feel like even a dog gets more love than we do.
Right.
Unfortunately, um, it's
Now you
very
said woman. Now are you referring to the black woman, the black American woman, or are you just referring to black in general?
black in general. Okay,
Okay.
black in general because I don't know what it is to be a black man, but I feel like a black man has it worse than I do.
Well, actually, we're kind of the same, but continue.
Yeah, so it's very difficult. I honestly, at this point in my life, I see that some things may change, and I'm a very hopeful person. But at the same time, I'm also a realistic person. I feel like there's a lot of things that are happening now, and that have been happening before I was even born.
Hmm.
That that hate, that I can't even think of the word, that disdain for us. You know, it's the same rhetoric over and over again. Our lives are not precious to anybody. Um, you know, all the stuff that's going on, we are the most hated race of people, copied, manufactured, used, you know, you want to enjoy the culture, but other than that, you don't want anything to do with us. If we're not playing sports and making you money, if we're not making you laugh, I mean, we have to be doing something for you, and you still don't value us as a
Hmm.
human being
Hmm.
you know. And then I'm so tired of people saying, "Oh, well, it was so long ago. There's a lot of things you people should get over." First of all, it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't. You know, um, there's a lot of challenges that we are still facing, and
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like when it comes to justice, like it's so much going on right now with the young man being murdered for a bottle of water, and then the store owner not found guilty. I mean, my thing is this right here. I don't condone stealing. What I'm saying is it was a child, and you ran that child down, from my understanding, allegedly. You ran this child down for a bottle of water. And like I said, I understand he didn't have the right to take it. But my at the same time, did you really have to pull the trigger and shoot him in the back? And that's just one example I'm giving. But I could go on and on with Nolan Wells and so many other people where when it comes to getting clear answers and justice, I mean, it's like we all know the truth. What black person hangs themselves? Yeah. I'm so over so many things. And I said, okay, I can be frustrated, I can be mad, but what is it that I can do as someone that can also add positivity to it? What can I do to help? And I said things that I know that I could do to try to help people. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
start trying to implement that. It may be something small, but if I'm able to reach one person, it doesn't matter how small it is. But it's very disheartening. Um, like I said, it's like, what do I see going forward? I see us always constantly fighting. Okay, I feel like we'll always have to fight for justice, and just to be living. You can be minding your own business, and you don't fit the script. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just when you're driving, but if you're in a certain neighborhood, if you go to certain restaurants. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I feel like for us, there's nothing sacred for us. There's no sacred place, because we could be having all the paperwork, we could have the license, we can have all the credentials, but we're still looked at as inferior, as hated. But I do understand that out of all of this, lies the truth, and that's why you're like that about us, because you know the truth, and you've kept the truth from us all the time. Because I really truly believe the essence of it is, if we truly knew who we are, a lot of things we wouldn't do against ourselves. But at the same time, I mean, it's just like it's so much. I was brought up by my grandmother, and my grandmother, just like a lot of families, there were a lot of siblings, and my grandmother and one of her brothers were the only two that lived in the South.
What region?
All the
What
rest,
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. What region of America are you from? I was just going to ask you that.
okay, I reside right now in Orlando, Florida.
Oh man,
Um,
we're right here. We're neighbors.
yes, I'm originally from Florida, and
Don't give too much details because, like I say,
oh
we're
no, no,
live.
no. Oh no, no, no. I'm not. I'm just gonna say I'm not originally from this area, but the thing about it is that
You're from Region 4. I always say you're from Region 4. There's 10
okay,
regions in America. So
okay,
I don't know if you ever heard of the 10 region plan by the government where they're going to eventually round all of us, but that's a whole nother broadcast. Go ahead.
okay. But okay, so I'm from Region 4. But I just, like I said, that my experience in life, when it has to do with with all the things that we're still enduring, um, I don't see it getting any better. That's what I was gonna say. I don't see it getting any better. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
still believe that hate is taught. Um, and then when it comes to we're supposed to have like it's a simple solution. It's a simple solution. But if the root is corrupt, it's going to bear corrupt fruit. A lot of things right now, the
Wow.
reason that we know a lot of things
Wow.
now is because we have cameras. And the thing about it is, sometimes you can actually be looking at the truth. This is how deep this evil goes. They can be looking at the truth on the camera, where the person is, for example, is actually walking away, actually not doing anything, and their lives are still taken. You know,
Absolutely. And
And
that's
so,
that's absolutely correct. We got another brother in the building. This is my brother Shaq. Shaq, bro, what region are you from, Shaq? He's in the Texas area. I think that's region 6, right? 6 or 7.
okay.
But he's jumping in with us. But go ahead, continue, my sister, and thank you for sharing this with us, because that's the thing that we don't get here enough, a woman's perspective, because it take a lot of courage to speak how you're speaking right now, and that's why I did this platform, because like in Dr. Claude Anderson's, I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Claude Anderson. And Dr.
Hmm.
Claude Anderson's famous words is, if you can't communicate with your people, it's impossible to organize your people.
That's true. I haven't heard of him, but I agree with that. And that's why, like, I'm very passionate when it comes to things of this nature, because I'm the basic essence of it. I'm a woman of color, um, and I'm able to give life to two sons, which I do have. And
Absolutely.
a black male can create all other nationalities. They're the only ones that can do that.
Yes.
There's you know we're the only ones, like right now. I got my hair slicked back, but normally it's in an afro. But the thing about it is, we're also the only people where our hair goes straight up to the sun.
I love it.
We all know that we're tolerant of the sun because of our melanin. We're very strong, and I look at, over the years, before I was even born, the different things that the world has done to keep us domiciled, to get rid of us, to keep us from flourishing in so many ways, with redlining, when it comes to housing, when it comes to putting stuff in the water, when it comes to the list goes on and on, things that they do, even with Planned Parenthood. I was telling a friend of mine the other night, we were having discussion, about different things that's going on in the world. And I was telling him, I said, did you know Black Panthers are the ones that came up with WIC? A lot of us, I used to receive WIC, but a lot of people, they don't know that Black Panthers are the one that started WIC.
Yes, ma'am.
There's so many different things that are
Yeah, the
credit to
government, the
us.
government, the government copied them off the food stamp program. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. And I realized, when somebody doesn't know, you don't get mad like, hey man, you didn't know that. No, what you want to do is, just like someone could teach me something, once I learned it, I could pass on that knowledge. But I feel like that when it comes to our own communities, instead of looking at everybody else, we know how the rest of the world feels about us. I feel like we're at a point now where we have to be proactive within ourselves, within our own neighborhoods, because if we don't, nothing is going to change. Like, we can't keep looking at other people to say, okay, well, something needs to happen, because the same thing is happening over and over again. I mean, it's on a continual basis. And, like I said earlier, it's very disheartening, but we have to decide, okay, what are we going to do with it? Like certain books, not being, they're not allowed in public school anymore. Um, there's certain things that we as a people don't know when it comes to finances and economics. Because I could tell you, as a 56-year-old woman, there's a lot of things that I'm just now learning that I didn't learn in school. My grandparents didn't have the knowledge about it. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just that when you realize and okay, I don't know this, we educate ourselves. But we're going to have to start implementing that, I believe, which would be something terrific. Like, if they're not allowing that in the schools where our kids go, let us teach it to the children. You know, when I was growing up, they considered the older people elders. I do realize there was a break in communication when Big Mama died. Within this last, I don't know, I'll say 25, 30 years, a majority of the big mamas, they kept the family together. You would
Yeah.
come to her house. A lot of values and things that was instilled in my generation, the people that came after me, they don't even have any clue about what I'm talking about. When you
Hmm.
go to Big Mama's house, you sat down and you had a hearty meal. I know here in the South, you always refer to the elder people as yes ma'am and no ma'am. Don't matter how old you are. If they're older than you, you're going to respect them.
That's your
But before
elder,
I
right? Hmm.
Yes. before I get too far out with that, my point is there's certain things in the black community that we did that was, I mean, besides respecting one another, we looked out for one another like a village. And if I did something wrong, Miss Lucy down the street, she's gonna let my grandmother know before I even get home.
Yep.
But and you know, and Miss Lucy was not gonna be chastised from my grandmother for making sure that I was on the straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something that we don't have anymore either. And then, you know, when babies were born, for
Uh-oh. We lost her. I think she blanked out on us. Her phone might have went blank on us. Bruh Shaq. I think her phone might have went dead or something. Bruh Shaq, are you with us? Hey, I love that sister's dropping some jewels, man. I love that. Like I said, the sister says she's 56, so she's from my generation X. But did you hear the good sister, Bruh Shaq? I think we lost
Helito.
her. I don't know if her camera went out or her mic went out. We still got her in the studio, but I don't know what happened.
Helito. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Mike.
sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. You're a little
Yeah, I was
echoey,
sitting
but
back
we
and
can
listening
hear
to
you.
some of it. Yeah, I was sitting back and listening to some of it.
Mm-hmm. Want to give us some feedback on that, bro? What she was saying? Oh, I think we
No,
got her back. Go ahead, though. Go ahead. Continue, Bruh Shaq.
no, that's correct, man. You know, I talk about the reconstructing cultural values. That's ancestral cultural value. You know, that's my thing, dog. We gotta set the example now. Like, we know we got enough information, you know what I'm saying, in data to reconstruct what was deconstructed. I'll leave it there. Salute to your guest. What's your name, ma'am?
Teresa,
Teresa, how you doing today?
Teresa.
Alito.
She's from
I'm
Region
doing well.
4. She's from Region 4 down here where I'm at. So let me give you a little bit of feedback on some of those tips you gave us, Sister Teresa. And Sister Teresa, that's deep right there, see? But you have a majestic name. But no doubt, that's what I do. That's why I started this platform. And a lot of people, they kind of take it the wrong ways. I'm just go ahead and tell you, I do study political sciences, and I love to research, and I love to be a research tool and advocate for our people. Let me give you a little bit of background on me. I'm in my 50s. I ain't gonna give you too much information, but we're from the same generation. We're from Generation X, and this
Okay.
brother right here, he's from what? Shaq, what are your generation? He's from generation the millennial. And
Okay.
so, what I've been learning with some of these, like the gentleman like this, and we might have another good sister, she might pop up in on us. They're from the millennial generation. And their
Okay.
biggest argument with us is that the reason why the age gap exists is because our elders, which were the baby boomers, a lot of them became boule. And a lot of, you know what the boule is, right?
No, but what I've heard of that. What is that?
The boule is they call them the Divine Nine. There are a lot of college educated sorors and
Okay.
fraternities, and a lot of them control our churches now.
Oh
I know you've
wow.
heard of the African Episcopal churches, some of your
Mhm.
Baptist churches, and a lot of these people don't understand that the little small hat people,
Mhm.
they infiltrated all of those organizations, and they kind of miseducated us. I don't know if you ever heard of a book called The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. Go look that up. That's a great book,
Okay.
great read on. It's a very short read on Amazon, and you can get that book. It's probably about maybe 50 pages, but he
Okay.
breaks down how these generations caused a lot of the poverty on us, and that's a reason why I kind of think, man, you kind of bumped heads a little bit with what I said about the Democrat Party. So the Democrat Party, they practice what we call socialism. They practice communism. A lot of people don't know this because you have to have a learned ear and a learned mind to realize this stuff. And they literally use fear mongering and poverty, and they want to make sure that they want to make it seem as if they're addressing it. So I'm not like my voter card says no party affiliation. So people a lot of times, because I hold the Democrats accountable for the last 70 years of our misdirection, they think I'm automatically a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But they're learning that from the media, because the media is controlled by the small hat people, the J people, even though we know it wasn't no J's in the alphabet back then. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But these people control all the platforms of communication. They control your social media, they control your entertainment, they control your sports, they control, like Neely Fuller say, they control every activity of life. They control sex, they control everything. And so what they do, you said you had 2 sons. Well, they probably got your sons right now on that. I don't know what it is. It ain't even rap no more. It ain't even hip hop. Ain't even hip hop no more. You know what we came up on? We came
Right.
up on Tribe Called Quest. We came up on Leaders of the New School. We came up on, positive music, Shaka Khan.
Right.
Frankie Beverly, and they've taken the art out of being an artist now. All you just got to get on there and do is be a mushmouth, and
Yeah.
it's like, what happened to like people like Little Richard, who was the king of rock and roll. They tried to piggyback him with Elvis. My good brother right here, Shaq. He's my hip hop historian right here, my good brother.
Okay.
But we're gonna do a show on that too. But that's why I created this platform, to give us some intelligent thinking. I don't watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch CNN, Fox. I don't watch stuff that they give to us for free. All of my research is, I pay for my research, and most of the research that I get is valuable research. And that's why I talk like I talk, because I can back my talk up with receipts.
Okay.
And we're not seeing this from a lot of men my age, And I'm all about the nuclear black family. I come from 3 generations of pastors, even though I don't really practice religion too much because of some stuff that I read up on. And I was like, and I disputed it for the longest. Oh, this is blasphemy. Whoa, all of the rhetoric. I fell for it. I was like, no, I pushed. But then my mom, she went to seminary college, so she has a PhD in religion.
Mm-hmm.
And before she passed away, because of that C virus, that little shot stuff, that's where she passed away from, because my mama was perfect health until that stuff came along.
Wow.
And I lost my father 2 years after that. He might have died from a broken heart, but let's just keep it 100. He took all the boosters and he just declined. My dad never smoked. I never seen my dad drink. I never seen my dad hang in the streets. And he was also a pastor, but his health declined when those boosters came out.
Mm-hmm.
And just think back to that time, how they were literally censoring our speech. I wouldn't be able to say what I was saying right now. They'll take my page down right now just for saying what I just said, boosters. So let's just kind of just think back. And like I say, Trump was not hated until he came down them gold staircases. Everybody loved Trump. So that's why I don't fall for that Jedi mind trick that Trump is racist. Nobody can tell me what makes Trump so racist. But everybody say he racist. But see, I'm a research and learn mine. So you gotta give me evidence. Oh, with the Central Park 4, Central Park 5. Okay, let's keep it 100. Bloomberg was a Democrat mayor. He was prosecuted by Democrat prosecutors. The whole city was Democrat. Trump was a Democrat when he so-called made them statements.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the guy who did that grape, I should say, I don't want to say the R word, but it was a grape of that so-called white woman. They caught that person, right? And he was saying that he didn't like that type of crime in his area. He wasn't talking about the boys. The boys, the 5 gentlemen, they were prosecuted by liberals. It's just so-called he was just a businessman in that area. And he said, hey, we got to do something with this crime. So like I say, I don't get involved in the politics. I don't get like hatred of this and hatred. I deal with receipts. If you can't give me proof and receipts, I don't want to hear what you heard on CNN. I used to get into this argument with my father. He was like, oh, well, I said, Daddy, listen, all I'm saying, Daddy, you shouldn't have took them damn boosters. I said, Daddy, I researched that stuff. Right now, look at Fauci. They got him on trial right now, don't they?
True.
See what I'm saying? You have to deal with whatever the creator puts in your mind. He gives us guidance. Like they say, the Christ is in you. Christ ain't coming back until you realize you the Christ. He ain't going to even visit you until you know that who you are. You are your own savior. Like I said, I don't get into the big religious thing, even though I was raised on religion. I don't get into it. All I know is something created us. Rather, it may be an alien, it may be a archangel or whatever, but I know it's something powerful. So I know it looked like my eyes going all the place, but I got about 4 or 5 screens and I got a real studio in here. So that's why I be trying to tell folks, man, listen, I'm doing this, my sister, because I love us. And I'm going to tell you, illegal immigration, that's my biggest thing. And so I don't know if you have an immigrant background. I don't know if you got family members that are immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people will say, oh, well, Juice, he hating on immigrants. No, I got several Jamaican homeboys. I got several Haitian homeboys. My problem is with tethers. I don't know if you know what a tether is. Have you ever seen the movie by, what's his name? What's the good brother named Shaq? He made a movie called Us, U.S.
Okay.
What's his name? But tether mean, you remember you used to play in high school, you played something called tetherball, and you hit
I
the little
remember
ball.
tetherball.
Okay,
Yes.
and the ball swing around the pole. So
Right.
that ball was attached to that pole. So you got a lot of people that look like us, got the same skin color, but they coming over here and they have these degenerate behavior. And then soon as they commit a crime, like stab that little Ukrainian girl in the neck, remember? Oh, black people list, black people. That's why I say you got to be very careful when you use that term. I heard you use it a couple of times. I'm a person of color.
Right.
Are you? And I'm gonna tell you another term that the Democrats have confused us with: black and brown people. My folks are from Mississippi. I'm indigenous to this land. I trace my lineage back to the 1700s, and I ran out of money. But it kept going. I'm quite sure I can trace it back to the 16s and the 15s.
Right.
All of us did not come from Africa.
Oh no, we did not. We did not.
And so that's my biggest argument right here. I want to know who is with us and who is against us. Because a lot of people came over here and they on some political stuff. And they talking about people of color and they piggybacking us. And then what the Democrats doing, like that video I showed you just about all them people that don't look like us. And a lot of them Latinos, they voted for Trump.
Yeah.
The men did. I got the statistics. I'll show you. 80% to 90% of Latino guys voted for Trump. The first term and the second term. So when we teaming up with these people, do we really have anything in common? Are we on the same page? Are we working together truly? That's why I say, and don't take this the wrong way. To me, excuse me, racism to me is economic oppression. That's my definition of racism. Because remember, a race, we running a race. We competing with each other.
Okay.
So a Trump supposed to be a Trump. A Biden supposed to be a Biden. Muhammad Ali say, tigers look out for tigers. Lions look out for lions. Birds look out for birds. We ain't got no business trying to relate ourselves to everybody just because we got the same skin color. if we American, then we need to be trying to. And I'm not saying don't do nothing for anybody. Most of my clients are white. I'm a businessman. Most of my clients are white people. I got a service. I got a product that they love, and so at the end of the day, I'm all about green. I'm a capitalist. I'm not a socialist. Have you seen that party coming out talking about the Democrat Socialists of America? Have you seen this new party coming out now? They're gonna get ready to buy up all the politicians. They coming out bragging about it.
No, I
They,
haven't seen it.
go look that up. Go look that book up I told you. It's called The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. Write that down. Carter G. Woodson. This book came out and he told you about the Divine Nine. He told you about the Boulets. He told you about all these HBCUs. Go look at what's going on right now at go look at what's going on. What's the college? Howard University.
Oh,
You see what's
hmm,
going on?
I saw a clip about it earlier. They were saying that one guy, I think it was Don Lemon, he did a piece on it, and he was saying that he knows that there's something going on. There's some financial difficulties. He was talking about that today.
Yes. They literally are scamming the kids. They want them to pay the tuitions in full. You know them kids can't pay that tuition in full like that every semester. And then the college is subpar. They got mold growing in the dormitories. It's been growing ever since 2024. Ceilings have water spots, water damage. A lot of them kids were sleeping on the grass for about a year. Go look it up about a year or two, about in 2023.
Oh,
I think it was around
wow.
2023. And then go look at Tuskegee University right now. Tuskegee, they say no more wearing what's them little shoes everybody like the way them people, everybody like the way the little flip-flops, what they call them. No more what are the Shaq, what are the dang on flip-flops everybody like to wear? The little Crocs. No
Oh, okay.
Crocs, no head bonnets.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
You can't wear wave caps no more. And I challenge anybody to do this research. Go check every black university, HBCU, and go look at the names of the universities, like whether it be Howard, what's the other one? I don't know about the ones in Carolina, but they probably are too. Clark, Atlanta. Go look up Cookman, Bethune. Now Mary Bethune was a sister, but Cookman was one of them small hat white folks.
Okay.
They spearheaded all universities. The J people did, and every HBCU, the money put behind it to start it out was done by the other people. It may be an HBCU, and they might have slapped a black face on it, but I did the research.
Yeah.
Cookman. Anytime you see MAN, muscle men like Hellman's mayonnaise, anything like that, that's some J people, some small hat people. If we have a MAN on the name or names like Howard or Weinstein or STEIN, those are J people. Like Harvey, this and that, the one that Oprah crazy about when she came out
Yes.
and she went off on R. Kelly, but she didn't go off on Harvey Weinstein. Her and Gayle
Right.
King. See what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
These people are controlled by Hollywood. That's why me and my wife, we get into this all the time. And she mad because I don't sit down and watch TV with her because I say I don't wanna be the contributor of my own oppression. The more we give these people watches and likes and we watch these movies and they get the ratings, we're literally funding our own oppression because we're giving these entertainers. That's why I don't get like DL Hughley and people. I don't take political advice from entertainers. You can't tell me nothing because you part of Hollywood.
Okay.
I don't watch TV. I stopped watching TV like I think about 10 years ago. I don't watch sports. None of it, because all of it. Look what they did to the NBA. They made all the NBA players come to Orlando during that C19. You know what the C19 was, right? I'm using
Right.
code words, and made them play in the Orlando arena, and they had to stay in that arena for 6 months. That's when LeBron them won the playoffs. The Lakers won the playoffs. It was all bought and paid for.
Yeah,
And
I
right
remember
during,
that.
and then remember then also that year, they start making betting. Betting was legal now. You could bet. You
Right.
could gamble. Remember that? It came out that year.
Mm.
All this stuff is controlled. It's controlled. I can't be a part of it because when my grandkids, I have grandkids now, when they get of age where they'll be able to
Mm.
contribute to society, I don't want them to say, well, granddaddy, god damn, what y'all was doing?
True.
How y'all just let these people just, and with all this communication we have now and all this technology, there is no excuse for you to be dumb.
Well, I agree with that. Well, listen, I have enjoyed this discussion. I have to get ready and go, but this has been very interesting.
Please send me, inbox me your email, and every time I go live, I go live on, I do a Throwback Thursday show every Thursday.
Okay.
So we just try to take people and keep people in remembrance of what we've been through and what we're going through and what it's going to take. Like you made some great comments about, we got to address this stuff. We can't just wake up tomorrow and act like that shit didn't just happen.
Yeah, because it's going to keep happening. Yeah, it's going to keep happening. We, there's a lot of things that we do, that we're really hyped about, but this is something that we have to get hyped about because we're looking at other people to make the change. It's just like my mother told me, and also I'm trying to think of her name. You know the saying, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Right.
My grandmother told me that first.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me tell you, I've been so hard headed for years. Oh, let me give them a second chance, whatever.
Yeah.
My point is, they keep showing you this is who I am.
It is.
This is how I feel about you. This is what I think
Mhm.
about you.
Mhm.
And nothing has changed. But we're keep looking for them to make a change. They're not going to. They're benefiting off what is taking place. So there's no other way to sugarcoat it, box it up. You can't put a bow on and say, oh, it looks different. No, it's the same rhetoric.
Yes, ma'am.
And the thing about it is, it's like, like I said, I do have to make a run. But the thing about it is it's like, if we want change, like we really have to do it ourselves. When we say, okay, they're not going to put these books. They took these books out of the school and they don't want our children to read them. We have to incorporate that.
Yep. We should educate our own. I said that. And you saw what I said. I said integration was where we dropped the ball. When we were segregated, we were doing better. But now we want to integrate with these folks, and then we want to talk about how bad they are. I'm like, come on, bro. We had our own.
Yeah,
we had
I think about that.
We had. I can tell you, I'm doing a documentary right now on some of the older businesses from 1970s. I'm a 70s baby as well as you, and well, you probably a 60s baby, but
I'm a 70s kid.
Oh, you're 70s? Okay, that's right. 70s, right? You're right at 70. Okay, and I can show you where we had pharmacies, hardware stores in my community. We had grocery stores in my community. I don't know if you ever heard of public supermarkets, but one of the first public supermarkets in Florida was in my city. The first one.
Yes, I know the history of that.
We're in Polk County. I'm from Polk County. You know where that is, right?
Yes.
So yeah, they good old boys down here. But let me tell you something about them folks. One thing about them folks, see, I'm a business owner. I don't have no problems out of them. And I like to carry them little things on me, them little things to defend myself with. But that's another story. But we're gonna talk, and we're gonna talk about health, and that's another big topic we got to start talking about. I lost 100 pounds over the last couple of years, and it started from diet. Something that I was eating, it caused me to get parasites, and I stopped eating it. And once I got all of that stuff out of my system, I detoxed my system. I don't even crave it anymore.
Okay.
I don't even crave it. Sugars. I don't crave it. Fatty foods, I just don't. So thank you for joining us, sister. And we're gonna still be on. I'm gonna chop it up with my good brother right here. So if you come back, we just chopping it up miscellaneous topics. We're gonna talk about too. They had some Chinese marriage scam that the attorney general came out and put some charges on some folks right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Some Chinese folks that was running a marriage scam to get their people over here. So we're under spies, espionage, and everything. We're not even paying attention.
Yes, I agree. Well, you guys have a good evening, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Brother Shizzle, what it is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That good sister right there, man. Listen, she been following me for a long time. And she would make little comments, and I was like, oh, I like her, you know. And I finally invited her up, man. But I was playing that Tasha K stuff. Did you see that? Did you see that Tasha K stuff? That was very interesting. Are you there, bro, Shaq? I think I lost you again.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah. Hey, brother Juice, is it? Did they say it was a flesh-eating virus down in Florida? What they say they was at? They had just found some new flesh-eating virus somewhere.
Boy, let's share that. Let's pull that up, man. You need to send me that topic so we can talk about that thing. Hey, hold on, bro, Shaq. Go ahead and just introduce yourself. I'm gonna come right back. Talk to the people till I get back. Talk about that virus.
Well, I don't know nothing about it. I think it was from Florida. Let me see. I don't know where it was at. Let me see. It was a virus. They was talking about a flesh-eating virus. Let me see. Hold on. Where was it? I was like, dang. Then you got the outbreak with the lettuce and stuff with the gut virus, bacterial virus. That's with the lettuce and the jalapenos. Yeah, it's supposed to be linked to Taylor Forms. Yeah, they said is it hookworm or some shit? They said it is some shit like that. Some type of worm they claim. Parasite. Jalapeno. Yep. Yeah. Taylor Forms. Yeah. They and obviously they got other producers and stuff up under their label that they probably, like you say, that warehouse or plant or distribution, distribute it from other brands and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was trying to look up and see where they flesh eating. They said there's a flesh eating virus outbreak somewhere. Let me see. Hold on. Right. $200 tornadoes. Wow. Hold on for 1 minute.
Self-sustainable. Go ahead, bro. Shirley, you still with her? Let's see what we got, man.
Yeah, I was looking up that flesh eating virus, man, because I was talking about the parasite with the lettuce, but they got a flesh eating virus too. They claimed there was an outbreak somewhere
in Florida.
I'm trying to look it up. Give me a couple seconds.
I'm looking it up now. Virus outbreak.
Too.
We
I
gonna
was
find
talking
it.
to other brother dude from Illinois. He said, man, it's an outbreak. It was a chemical. Would you say chemical?
Yeah.
Or biohazardous outbreak.
2026 so far, flesh-eating bacteria, Louisiana outbreak, 5 dead.
Mm-hmm.
9 cases. Death caused by, here go USA Today. Let's see, let's read it. Y'all know we the home of the receipts. Urban Matters BMG. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juice. We got brother Shaza with us. The Shike Walla. Let's see what we got here. Flesh eating outbreak.
Damn, man, that's give him a book. Say it again.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
It's been there for a while. Yeah, it's a bacterial. It was a biohazardous plant somewhere in Illinois area region that you say blew up or caught fire or some shit where it released some toxic chemicals. Look that one up too, brother. You see if you can pull the article up, a clip up on that, because I'm just not getting the news of that too.
Okay.
Yeah, did you? I got people that live over in the areas.
Blocking.
I went to call sister and see what she know. If they put out like a warning or some type of public service announcement.
Everybody be want to do the damn. Let's see. Got one here, Time Magazine. Let's see what this thing. We'll look that other one up too, bro. Shaq. Let's see. What to know about the flesh-eating bacteria that killed 7 people in the U.S.? It's called Vibrio vulniferus, a type of flesh-eating bacteria has killed at least 7 people in Louisiana and Florida, prompting U.S. health officials to caution beachgoers about wading in warm coastal waters where the bacteria thrives. The local Department of Health said on August 6th that 5 residents died this year because of Vibrio vulniferus infections, and 4 others were hospitalized. All 9 cases were associated with the wounds exposed to seawater. Damn, boy, I'm glad I'm going to the damn beach next week. I'm glad you put me on this game, bro. Right? The health department said, and all patients had underlying health conditions. The bacteria has also killed 2 people in Florida. State health officials there said at least 14 people in Florida have contracted the bacterial disease this year. Florida's health department hasn't provided additional details, including how the people became ill. Vibrio vulnificus is a part of a Vibrio genus of bacteria, a group of water-loving pathogens that includes the bug that causes cholera. Vibrio vulnificus infections are much rarer than cases of cholera globally, but they're much more likely to be fatal. About 1 in 5 people who are infected with Vibrio vulniferus die, sometimes within a day or 2 of becoming sick, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Damn. Hold on. Says, can sicken people different ways. Most commonly, the pathogen is consumed through a raw or undercooked shellfish. Bro, that sounds like that shit I had. I had some shit about 3-4 years ago I caught from some calamari, some freaking what did he call it? Squid. I'm trying to be all sassy and shit like I'm high class, and then they're eating all kind of foreign shit. Oysters prefer the same salinity of water of Vibrio vulniferus. She says, and since oysters are filter feeders, they pull water and microorganisms in their digestive tract, and the bacteria gets concentrated in their tissue. So, boy, stay away from them oysters, family. They got a bad batch of oysters out there, family. Stay away from it. Y'all just heard it here, live at Urban Matters. We give y'all them receipts, man. We're the home of the receipts. What's your take on that, boy?
Yeah, man. You said something about the calamari, bro. I remember I was kicking with this one chick back. Now it had to be let me see. That had to be about let me see. Bro, that's almost 10 years ago now. About 7. This was way before the pandemic shit. Probably maybe 2017, 2018, maybe. And I went to this place and I got the fried calamari. I never had it before. And I got sick as a dog, too.
Man, bro, listen. How long ago you said it was?
Huh?
How long ago?
It had to be like between 2018, 2019.
Okay, about
Yeah.
about 19
Yeah,
years ago.
it was way before the pandemic. So it had to be like
8 years, yeah,
2 years
man.
before the pandemic.
Listen, family, I'm telling y'all, we've proven it so many times of a lot of my constituents and affiliates that we broadcast with. They've been scamming and especially with China. Did you see what came out on China, man? Oh my gosh, man. China, man. We gotta watch China, man. Listen, but family, we've proven countless amount of times that they've been micro engineering foods. I know y'all know about GMOs, genetically modified organisms. They've been putting this stuff in processed products and foods. Y'all should know this by now, man. We have the internet, man, the internet of things. We have social media. Family, if you're still walking around here dumbfounded, then you are a victim of the dumbing down of Americans. This is a real serious epidemic, the dumbing down of Americans. That's why I be trying to tell people, they be trying to jump on my page and get all butthurt about some of the stuff that I'm putting out and I'm broadcasting. Family, don't come for this smoke unless you are a reader and you're an intelligent thinker. Because I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. So if you're getting your information from TV and news, please steer clear of this network, please.
Hey, you know
Please.
what? Salute to you, brother Juice, man, for tapping in. Hey, bringing this live. This is a pop up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, pop up. Okay,
Yeah, I
popped
just
out.
popped up, man. Some just told me, say, man, Jew, pop up and show out. So I got another little clip I want to play y'all real quick. Listen to
When
this,
you get a
man.
chance, I want to talk about that Tasha K shit too. Cause I was listening to you, but I was getting my phone together trying to
Okay,
tap
well,
in.
let's go to that. We'll go to that. No, let me play this real quick because
Yeah, play that, play that.
we'll end on the Tasha K stuff. Hold on. Let me play this real quick to show y'all what China been doing. They've been scamming, man. Scamming China, where y'all at? They've been scamming us, dog. Look what they've been doing, bro. Right here, here you go. I'm gonna play it real quick for y'all, real quick. Can you hear that?
For green cards. This is one of the largest marriage fraud prosecutions in United States history. This scheme was not a quick fly-by-night operation, but rather a years-long, multi-million-dollar cottage industry to criminally assist people who would not or legally could not otherwise become citizens of the United States. The men and women who facilitated this scheme were all naturalized citizens originally from China and one green card holder. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Justice is working alongside our partners at DHS to secure the border and protect American communities, something that was ignored during the last administration. Not only are we protecting our physical borders from unlawful crossings, but we are also preventing immigration fraud schemes that are just another way to skirt the immigration laws of the United States. As alleged, some of the charged defendants acted as facilitators who orchestrated the marriage fraud scheme, pairing foreign nationals seeking immigration status with United States citizens willing to participate and engage in a sham marriage. These facilitators employed attorneys, tax preparers, and marriage officiants. Some of the other charged defendants acted as recruiters by finding and recruiting United States citizens to participate in the scheme, and other defendants acted as officiants, officiating dozens of these alleged fake marriages. Now, the way that this scheme allegedly worked is the facilitators used social media and other forms of advertising to market fraudulent immigration services to foreign nationals, primarily from China, and Chinese nationals would pay these facilitators as much as $100,000 for assistance in obtaining a marriage, which then allowed them to apply for a green card. The facilitators also paid willing U.S. citizens as much as $30,000 to engage in the sham marriage with the foreign national. Now, often
So
after
boom, what
these
there it is. There it is.
phony
There it
ceremonies,
is, Shaq.
defendants would stage images of
I ain't
family.
gotta play it no more. So you know what's going on. $30,000 to $100,000 for me to act like your husband or your wife and marry your ass. See, they messing it up for the people that's doing right. For the immigrants that come here, you should be mad right now with these folks who coming over here and making it bad for you all. And that's what I'm trying to say, man. Somebody got to stand up for what's right, bro. They making it bad for everybody. And the taxpayers, us, we the ones footing the bill. I don't get it, bro, Shaq. I don't get it. Let's go to that Tasha K stuff. There she go right here, boy. Oh, she been, oh, boy, she was, oh, my God, boy. So I don't know where to start at, bro. I'm going to
Man,
start at.
I think she's just looking for content right now. They looking for content and building. That's content for her, man. She's a
Tasha
content creator.
K?
Yeah, that's content, bro. Because she know, damn man, Tasha K from Florida. You know what she's from. She my age. She around my age.
Exactly.
She know what it is, bro. So that to me, that's almost like starting a fire. You start a fire, and she doing like the little white. She doing like the white people do. Start fires and shit, and then fall back and try to play victim. Or you came for my husband. You came for him, bruh. Stop. It's your right to defend your husband, your life. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about all the other stuff that you just said out your mouth, whether it was correct information, where you felt it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Privilege, just saying salacious stuff, man.
But
You know?
Shaq, she got an African husband.
That's what I'm saying. So watch this, Juice. Watch this. Watch how I walk this. See, we get played by I don't know if she's one of them or not. She say she's I don't know, but we do this stuff to us, right? Cause she know more black folks ain't like you say some salacious they ain't gonna sue her. But see, Cardi B, she ain't necessarily black. She sued her butt.
Yeah, you heard about that, huh? Right.
Yeah, she's still going through it right now. It's a possibility that she could be, it's a
But she ain't gonna
possibility.
do that because she moved all her money to Africa. So she cleared all her Tasha K cleared all her American accounts out and moved her money over to Africa. So even if Cardi B sue her, you know what I'm saying? She in Africa now, so.
But that's another topic we're talking about defamation and all that stuff because a lot of these cases are getting bigger and bigger. You know, Megan Stallion, she won a case from a chick down in Florida. I mean, from Houston, a female that was a content creator, podcast that was doing some stuff, put some stuff out on her. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
we do have to be careful because people are catching on, and I understand people want to entertain and stuff, but we're not labeled entertainers. I'm talking people that's podcasters, just regular podcasters, regular streamers, regular content creators. You're not upon. You don't get protected upon the entertainment banner because you're not in that. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we need to learn that like, okay, be cautious.
Let's fill everybody in on the Tasha K stuff. So and the Cardi B stuff, so we can put y'all on some game real quick. There we go. We're gonna play the clip real quick.
Misreports about the bankruptcy and stuff like that, and that's fine because I'm not here to defend that. When people say, oh, I'm not going to be able to escape the debt, that's not why I filed bankruptcy. I filed bankruptcy to protect my business. It's something that I can't escape and I have to eat, and I'm eating it. And when I hit her today, and let me read to you verbatim what I said. I said, hey, Cardi, if you put a bullet in your head, who is gonna teach me to be a better person? I said, please stop posting stuff like this. I'm gonna pay you. I said, FYI, I just can't afford the $4 million. I know the brand looks like I have $4 million. You do a very good job at that. I just can't afford the $4 million. I don't have it. I know I look like I got it, but I don't have it. I said, Cardi, I love you. That was the hardest thing for me to say to her. But I hit her today.
Damn!
She getting paid.
$4 million, Shaq?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How they come up with that number?
Hey, I don't know. Punitive damages, I guess.
Number, bro.
You know what? That's a great question because, like you said, maybe we have to look at the case and see what they actually, um, what she lost on. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when they do these defamations, there's multiple facets to it, and you may be innocent on this one facet, but all they need is one to get you with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
One that they can prove, and one of them is most privileged is somebody was saying, well, Cardi B is a famous person, so I don't understand how they even allowed that trial to go, but I don't know. That definitely because she's a famous person. She's known for saying salacious stuff too, but they don't necessarily give you right to say something salacious about them because see the process is they send you the cease and desist, and that's what it was, brother. If I can rewind it back a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
she had posted a clip of Cardi B saying things on her own mouth about drugging men when she was in her stripper days. How she used to drug the men and set them
Right.
up
I remember. I
with
remember Cardi B
okay.
said that. Right.
Right. So she was playing it and they were getting content off there and playing it. So she wanted her to take it down. She never took it down. So she told she was gonna sue her, she was gonna take it down. And she stood on them not taking it down. And that's why we here now. Because she wouldn't take it down. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? One of the reasons, she wouldn't take it down. So she actually took her to trial. So, they went to trial. Went to.
Tasha K must have didn't lawyer up good, man, because she could have beat that. I mean, that was a factual situation that took place in Cardi B.
I think she was being arrogant because she around lawyers and all and journalists and stuff like that. So yeah, she had some Jewish lawyers. But hey, hey man, they ain't all you think they all right? They get you too.
Wow.
But I don't know what all the particulars and why she lost the defamation claim in court. You have to go look at the transcript
Wow.
to see. But yeah, man.
Wow. 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 Wow.
But yeah, she got a African husband, man, and but she know what the teller was. Even if you don't know FBA, see, she just did the same thing that James Small did, right?
Yep. Got a Negro wake up call.
They trying to say the FBA is some type of mob militia type going and attacking, going at people and
Yeah, they
stuff.
keep calling us a cult or organization when we clearly are a lineage. We clearly are a race of people that's in America that just we tired of everybody taking advantage of us. And the sad thing about it, Brush Shack, every other person can have pride in their culture and pride in who they are. But as soon as we do it, oh, now we're being homophobic, or we're being what's that other word they have when you try to go against other races of people? What do they call it? Xenophobic. Xenophobic.
Wow.
It's crazy. They just making up shit, man, because they want us to be all one big Negro.
Yeah.
We got a kumbaya for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we tired of that
Yeah.
shit, man. We come in last every time. Everybody else getting resources. Everybody else getting economics. But then as soon as we say, God damn, man, write us a little check or something, man. Well, wait a minute. All lives matter. Oh shit, here we go with this all lives matter shit. Okay.
Exactly.
But we the only one dying. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Black Lives Matter come out, but Black Lives really don't matter because we the only one dying.
Yeah, and,
Black
and for
Black
all the
Americans.
naysayers out there, you say, huh?
Black Americans, we the only one dying.
Yeah, and for all the naysayers, when we say certain things are racist and all this stuff, and people are trying to deliberately do things to us, other so-called racial group and stuff, they don't. The thing is, when we do crimes against us, right? We get convicted, we get charged and convicted. The investigation is there. These others, they are not. That's the whole problem we're saying. They are not
Hey,
getting
Brush Shack,
convicted and charged
Brush
like that.
Shack,
Yeah.
give me 5 minutes. Elaborate.
Okay. Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So what I'm talking about is when when we mention the things the harm that's being done to us as American blacks, and when other races or other nationality groups, um, they compare it to black on black crime, right? Which is not the same because, like I said, when it's black on black crime, 9 times out of 10, someone is getting charged for their crime and they getting sentenced. Well, not so more with some of these other groups, racial groups. When they commit crimes, heinous crimes against us, they either get a slap on the wrist, right? Or nothing at all. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't the same to compare, oh, well, black folks killing black folks. Bro, it's not the same when somebody else do it and can get away with it, and not even if they not even getting charged. Come on now, what we talking about? And then there's another argument people say when you mention that, they mention they'll say, even when she talking about the African. When obviously when somebody say we're not talking about all, never should be talking about all. We're talking about the ones that's guilty of it. So I don't even play that game when people say, well, not all this or not all, bruh. When have we ever mentioned all? We're talking about the actual who did what they did. Because they use that same talking point with police brutality. Well, not all cops are bad. That's a deflection, bro. Not all Africans are doing that. That's a deflection. Not all foreigners or tellers are doing it. That's a deflection. You're deflecting from the point. The point is that it's being done, and we're identifying who's doing it, committing the harm against us, whether it's defamation, whether it's crimes. You know, we're identifying. So a lot of these people, man, I don't see things getting any better, man, because so many people want to come to this United States, and enrich themselves, which that's their prerogative, but it's at the expense of the indigenous Americans, and that's on all these land masses. They can just transport and import and somebody from a whole nother country to a whole nother country, like Argentina. They about to get another influx of people. I think they're about to get another influx down there. It was somewhere else I was thinking about that they were trying to immigrate these people there. Did you hear about the over there in Spain, where they said almost 60,000, they claimed 60,000 rushed the border of Spain from Morocco. So these things we always got to pay attention to, because it's going to affect our immediate life. It's going to affect us, because the United States, they're one of the biggest foreign relation governments in the world. They heavy on foreign relations, as you can see. The United States of America is heavy on foreign relations. Hell, they got the UN building in New York. But like you said, once we get to talking and saying, well, hold on, these are things have been harms been done to our communities, the crops and stuff, our natural food source, our abilities to be able to grow generational wealth. It's being capsized, you know what I mean? So it's time out for all the bickering stuff, like Neely Fuller said, man. When we come to these and have these conversations, you know what I mean? There should never be no infight amongst us, man, because we all coming from a certain perspective. You know what I mean? We may or may not agree with somebody else's perspective. We don't have to actually have argue with each other over it. You know what I mean? Because we all are being affected by it. And our children's being affected by it. It's so bad, like you said, these what you call them, which I call them Gen Zers, they don't want to go by no labels anymore. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at them, because some of these labels were they just got stuck. We got stuck upon these labels and ideologies, brothers. You were talking about Carter G. Woodson earlier. You know?
Yeah, Carter G. Woodson. That's a great read, man, about how the old time way of education, the old time way of politics, the old time way of economic empowerment and economic growth in the communities, it just got outdated, and we were deceived by the same people that were trying to destroy us. We were integrating with these people. And Carter G. Woodson just points out, like some of our great scholars, Dr. Claude Anderson said the same thing. We integrate, and Martin Luther King even said it. We integrated ourselves into a burning building. Absolutely, Brashak.
Yeah, man. You're absolutely correct. You know, and the fact that we're speaking out about it now, man, we gotta, keep doing what we're doing because there's other people that's out here doing it too, and who are connecting with them, trying to get on these stuff and bring them on. And see, that's how you break this. That's how you break the system. You gotta. I ain't gonna say. Let me slow down. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah.
you got to create your own governance, man. And it ain't about you going. It's about how do you want yourself to be governed. You know what I mean? Your politics and your
Yeah.
economics. You know,
Yeah.
your politics and your economics. You
Listen,
know what I mean?
bro. You be sending a good. I think I liked this one you had sent the other day, Brashak. Let's put some of your content up real quick,
Cool.
and I'm gonna have you discuss it and tell us what you were trying to break down in these clips. Here we go.
Talking about dating black women. And in this video, he says that black men have intimidated and threatened him so bad when they see him with a black woman. And then he starts encouraging other white men who date black women to get a gun to protect themselves from black men. Now, all that, as outrageous as it is not.
Is it still playing? Oh, think we're freezing up. Hold on.
Yeah, it stopped for a little bit. I heard it though. It stopped.
Okay, let's see what happened. I don't like that. Hold on. Let's see what's going on.
The reason I'm making this video. The comments are because as I started reading them, I started noticing how many black women were agreeing with him. They were encouraging him, speaking negatively about black men as a group as a whole. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute. This white man is telling other white men to arm themselves because of black men. And there are black women in his comments helping him make their argument. Do we understand what we're co-signing here? Because I'm watching black women, some black women, help reinforce the idea that black men are inherently threatening and dangerous to a white guy. And do we not recognize that? Because I do. We have absolutely seen this story before. Now, I'm not saying that black women are responsible for defending black men. We're not. Black women should be able to talk about our experiences with black men, just like black men should be able to talk about their experiences with black women. But there is a distinct difference in talking about what a person did and deciding that that behavior tells you something about all black people. And reading those comments just started making me think about something that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about a lot. How black people see ourselves as a group, how we value each other, how much racial pride actually shows up in the way that we deal with one another. And it made me start thinking about racial self-esteem. Not, are you proud to be black? I'm proud to be black, that's easy. But how highly do we think of each other? Because you can love being a black woman and think very little of black men. And a black man can love being a black man and have absolutely terrible things to say about black women. We see both all the time. So what does it really mean to have pride in your race if that same pride doesn't extend to half of it? And once I started thinking about it that way, I started thinking about all these little things that we've been saying to each other forever. She got good hair. He cute for a dark-skinned boy. Or, don't get too black. Stay out that sun. I've heard them all. And none of those statements came from nowhere. Somebody taught us how to rank ourselves, right? Now, this is where Mamie and Kenneth Clark come in. In the 1940s, the Clarks were studying racial identity in black children. And I'm saying Mamie first intentionally because this research grew out of work that she started while she was in graduate school. They worked with black children using dolls, one black, one white. And they asked questions. Which doll would you like to play with? Which doll is nice? Which doll is bad? And many of the black children preferred the white doll and were more likely to assign positive qualities to that white doll and negative qualities to the black one. Then they asked, which doll looks like you? And some of these children struggled. They became upset. And think about what you've just asked that baby to do. You told me which doll you think is nice. You've told me which one you think is bad. Okay, now, which one are you? And these are children. They didn't create segregation. They didn't invent racism. But many of them were already associating positive qualities with whiteness and negative qualities with blackness before they were ever even old enough to understand where these ideas came from. So how? Right? Look at the world they were growing up in. For generations, this country had been telling Black people exactly what they thought we were. During slavery, many slave states restricted or criminalized teaching Black people how to read. Then you had doctors, scientists, and universities teaching racial hierarchy as biology. And then there were the images. Mammy figures, Black people drawn with exaggerated features. Black children depicted as animals. Caricatures on postcards, advertisement, toys, household products. Ferris State University's Jim Crow Museum has thousands of racist objects and images like this in its collection. And this stuff was everywhere. Nobody had to sit a Black child down and say that Black people
Yeah, bro, Shaq. So yeah, chime in on that a little bit for us, bro. Shaq is kind of skipping on us a little bit, but yeah, kind of give us some context to that clip, bro. Mark, what it is?
How's it going, brothers?
What's up with it, man? How you
Thanks for
feeling?
time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Shaq, go ahead though. Continue.
Yeah, man, this is a common thing, man. You know, this thing started some years ago with this diversity stuff, and I know one female that was kind of promoting it heavily. I think her name was Cynthia G. Now, from my information, she came out
Yeah,
of
we
the
heard of her.
the so-called conscious community, and then
Yeah, I
so she
remember
flipped.
Cynthia G. Right.
Yeah, so it's been a big push. It's getting bigger and bigger with this divesting from so-called black men. You know what I'm saying? In the United States of America.
Swirling, swirling, swirling. Right.
You know, and but you don't hear. I don't know. You don't hear so-called when black men they other ethnic groups when they say they go do harm to black women. I mean, so what's up with
Yeah,
that?
that's weird.
That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, that was real weird.
That's weird. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is sometimes a lot of our sisters, if they are true sisters, ethnicity, ethnically, they are sisters,
Hmm.
are good sisters. I think a lot of times they've been coerced and basically, what do they call it? Well, they watch social media and they've been influenced to think that a certain type of brother is what they want. So they'll go out there and get a Tyrone or a little Pookie or somebody, and then just because Pookie fine and because Pookie got a couple of tattoos and because that social media and MTV and BET said this is the type of dude you want to be with on the hip hop video, I think they fall for that image. And then a lot of these young men are being raised without father figures, are being raised without real true men around them, whether it be an uncle or a little cousin or somebody, to show them a positive influence of a real man demonstrating real masculine energy in front of them. They don't know how to treat a woman, and then these sisters get a bad taste in their mouth, and they go to the mayonnaise side, and they and we know for a fact the mayonnaise man could be very violent in a lot of instances, and
Well, prime example for
I don't
you
know.
to back you up. Remember the girl? We
Yeah.
forgot her name. Remember she went over the. She was the influence. They call her influencer. The
Mm-hmm.
female, the young female. She had just on her birthday, her 32nd birthday or something. She went
Oh yeah, over in
over
Africa.
there, went
She
over
went
to
to
Africa.
Africa
Yeah.
with him
Uh-huh.
and didn't make it back. They haven't found her body yet. I think they haven't found her corpse
Well,
yet.
no, they eventually got it ported back.
Oh, they got it. They found
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They ended up pointing it back. No. She went. She
Yeah.
went. She went missing. They claimed she had went to this resort over there in Africa somewhere.
Yeah, the resort. I remember that. I heard about
Right,
that.
right.
Right.
But they claimed it was unalive.
Mm-hmm.
She unalived herself.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, they say she committed. Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
But
And like I say to each, and that's not in every case, bruh Shag. I want to make that clear. But I'm just and I'm not racist or I'm not into that. But I just think that you'll have more luck and more success with your own kind. Like Muhammad Ali say, tigers hang with tigers, Lions hang with lions. I think that's your saying right there, bro. Mark.
Yes, sir.
Eagles hang with eagles, and them crows hang with crows.
Yeah.
So all of this jumping across, identity lines, it's really not. It's not necessary. So I'm gonna leave that right there. It's like I think that it's somebody for everybody out there, and they look like you and I. And you can't. But at the same time, two things could be true at the same time. You can't stop who you fall in love with either.
Oh
So
no,
if
no, no. I'm not
if,
gonna go
if
with
it's
that.
true love,
Yeah, I'm not going
hey,
with that. Stop it.
I'm trying to be liberal, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, no, no. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's about who you're around.
There
It's
you go.
about it's about what's going in your head and who you're around.
I know I was gonna trigger y'all. I know I was gonna trigger y'all. Go ahead. Go
What
ahead. Go ahead.
foundation you have. Because
Yeah.
because it's real simple, like you say. I told you this years ago. Eagles don't go mess around with Blue Jays.
Mm-mm.
Doves don't go messing
Mm-mm.
around with sparrows. It's just that
Mm-mm.
simple. And y'all, people can
Mm-hmm.
talk about the Bible all they want, but God tell you, don't mess with that one. Don't mess with this one. Don't
Mm-hmm.
mix. So that's this
Mm-hmm.
new interpretation of what the book, or let me say it like this. This is that new verbalization of what the Bible
Mm-hmm.
say. But if people read the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
you will see that God did not want
Mm-hmm.
us dealing with different groups. So,
That's right.
but what happens is when you have a
Y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
okay,
Y'all keep going.
when you have a group of people who have weak genes and they have to survive, what they do is, and they're in control of the printed page and media, then they will put out a narrative that would make it attractive to you to mix genes, because they will convince you to make a bad decision in their favor. Whereas they used to be able to force you into making a bad decision. Now they have to convince you that this is the thing. They got to make it popular. And that way their gene pool can continue. But no, sir, that is not that, that's just a popular or the cultural way to think, because of the brainwashing been going on TV and in the printed page, on the printed page. What say you, brother Shaq?
Oh no, yeah, I agree with you, man. Just to add on what you were saying about the proximity where you at. Like people saying, oh, this person, they'll say, oh, I can't find this. A black man might say he can't find a good black woman. Or a black woman might say that she can't find a good hey, what the heck calling me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Somebody called me
Yes,
on
sir.
message on my other phone.
Oh,
But yeah, my bad. And they be like, I can't find this good person. Because I done done this experiment with certain people. I said, okay,
right,
well tell me, and me and they went. I said, well tell me where you normally going, where you're normally meeting the opposite sex at. You know what I'm saying? It's about having
right.
dialogue and real conversation. And if you're not
Yes,
willing to change, because if you go in and meet them all, if you meet all your people you met in the club, and they saying everybody in the club is bad either. I'm just saying, if the environment you meet people in or you proximate in, and you don't sometimes get out your comfort zone to try something else, to try to attract what you actually say you
right.
need versus what you want. I'm gonna have to do a segment. I've been back to my chronicle of vanity versus sanity chronicles, man. With
Right.
people choose more what they want than what they need. Okay?
Correct. Correct. And and what happens is nowadays people invest more time in buying a watch than they do finding the right mate, the mate that's good for them. Because I have asked, women quick to ask a man what it is he looking for, but they can't tell you what it is they need. See, what you're looking for and what you need, two different things. And where do you go? Like you say, where do you go to find that what you need? Because if you're looking for a rocket scientist, you can't go to church looking for one. You know, if you need to be with somebody that love comic books, you can't be going over to the lake looking for somebody that love comic books. And are there people that's in these different locations that might do that? Yes. But guess what? Your possibility of success is better if you go to Comic-Con. If you're looking for a brother that like comic books, it's best to go to a shuttle. Go over there to the Space Center if you're looking for an astronaut. So we have to look for people, our mates, in places that are more conducive to finding or giving you a good result. You can't look for somebody and don't even know what they normally like, where they normally hang out. Well, dog, to go to Macy's if you want to buy an Invicta watch. If you want this purse, you got to go here, but you won't invest that same time into where you need to go to get the proper mate. You want to leave that for luck of the draw, and that's not smart. And the first thing coming around you can't do that, not expecting a good result.
Absolutely.
Are you right,
Absolutely.
brother? Mark, to follow up on that, the brother Kevin Samuels, man. I didn't agree with everything he said, but he made some good points about this Christian feminist, and they're using manifest destination, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's funny.
Yes.
But if you talk to them, some of them they be on that manifesting. No, you gotta put yourself faith, right? Without works.
Faith,
What?
dead.
There you go.
Dead.
So you still got to put the work in on yourself first. Yep. Get
But
yourself right.
what's unfortunate is in most churches, they tell you about faith. And the only work they look for you to do is reaching down in your pocket and putting some money in that cup or in that basket, or put your tithes in there. That's the only work they look for. Oh, what they like to say, hold still. Hold still and just trust in God. No, but you got to put in some work if you want something to happen.
Still.
Yes.
Be still.
Name one character in the Bible that got something they wanted without having to do something. That don't happen. You got to go through something. You got to put in some work.
Yes, sir. Bro, Mark, I don't know if you've seen this clip. I played it earlier before you popped in on us. I think Bro Shaq seen it. We got another victory for the big bad Trump.
Uh-oh. What is it, bro?
They say that Trump ain't no good. Let's see what he done pulled off this time. See if I can put it up. Hold on.
For green cards. This is one of the largest marriage fraud prosecutions in United States history. This scheme was not a quick fly-by-night operation, but rather a years-long, multi-million-dollar cottage industry to criminally assist people who would not, or legally could not, otherwise become citizens of the United States. The men and women who facilitated this scheme were all naturalized citizens originally from China and one green card holder. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Justice is working alongside our partners at DHS to secure the border and protect American communities, something that was ignored during the last administration. Not only are we protecting our physical borders from unlawful crossings, but we are also preventing immigration fraud schemes that are just another way to skirt the immigration laws of the United States. As alleged, some of the charged defendants acted as facilitators who orchestrated the marriage fraud scheme, pairing foreign nationals seeking immigration status with United States citizens willing to participate and engage in a sham marriage. Pairs and marriage officiants. Some of the other charged defendants acted as recruiters by finding and recruiting United States citizens to participate in the scheme, and other defendants acted as officiants, officiating dozens of these alleged fake marriages. Now, the way that this scheme allegedly worked is the facilitators used social media and forms of advertising to market fraudulent immigration services to foreign nationals, primarily from China, and Chinese nationals would pay these facilitators as much as $100,000 obtaining a marriage, which then allowed them to apply for a green card. The facilitators also paid willing U.S. citizens as much as $30,000 to engage in the sham marriage with the foreign national. Now, often after these phony ceremonies, defendants would stage images of families at restaurants to create the appearance of a legitimate wedding, and some of the defendants also facilitated sham marriages overseas in China. After the marriages took place, the actual ceremony, the then married couples would visit a local office affiliated with the scheme, sign forms for submission to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, learn about the USCIS interview process to apply for a green card, and then execute prenuptial agreements, which, not surprisingly, given the allegation these were sham marriages, waived their rights to share in the other's estate upon death, child support, and other claims in marital property.
Right there. You heard what he said? Did you hear what he said?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
He said they would waive their rights to the inheritances. So that right there lets you know if you and your wife ain't trying to share inheritances, a red flag should go off immediately. Huh?
That's right. Yep.
Wow. And let me play your clip, Mark, that you sent me earlier. That's a very interesting clip you shared earlier about the damn election interference.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let me play that for the family, because y'all know we the home of the receipts, man. We gonna keep them receipts coming. Listen, we don't judge what's truth and what's a lie. We just let the truth stand on its own. Am I right, bro, Mark? The truth speaks for itself. We don't have to back.
That's right.
There we go.
Map. This one got a lot of recognition here in the last week. You may have seen President Trump last week put out a statement discussing my findings, in which I determined that there are a minimum of 8 million excess Biden votes nationally, not just in swing states or contested states, but based on population trends, registration data, especially when we have party.
Now listen, if y'all got some data that can dispute what this dude is saying, please present it here at Urban Matters BMG, because we're the home of the receipts, and we want to get the truth to the people. So we're just going to let this resonate.
Registration information. So a bellwether is a leading indicator of a final election outcome. These counties here that I'm going to show you, there are 19 counties since 1980 that have been perfect in aligning with the winner of our presidential elections. In 2016, President Trump carried all 19 of these counties. You can see most of them are in your working class states in the Northeast. There's also 4 of them in Wisconsin. And President Obama carried all 19 in both of his campaigns all the way back to 1980. They've aligned with the winner. President Trump carried 18 of the 19.
Hey, bro, Mark, is that they trying to be biblical with their 8,144,000? You remember the 144,000 in the Bible, the 144,000? Okay, that's a whole nother topic. So let's let it play.
19 in 2020, with the exception of one in Washington, which I can assure you, and for those of you in the Washington delegation here, you already know Clallam County, Washington has some issues. So President Trump, once again, carries the bellwether counties of 2020 and somehow has not won this election. So it doesn't stop at counties. Bellwethers can also be states. Is anybody familiar with some famous bellwether states? Okay, I heard Ohio, I heard Florida. So Ohio's been perfect all but twice since 1896. But I can make that a bigger coalition for you when we're talking about bellwether states in a big group. Here's Iowa, Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida. Since 1896, these 4 states have been won by the same candidate on 13 occasions, and on all 13 occasions they've gone to the winner of the election, whether elected for the first time or re-elected. President Trump carried all 4 of these states in 2016 and carried all 4 again in 2020. So why does this matter? Those 4 states represent a strong coalition of voters because our founders created the Electoral College system to encourage coalition building. Otherwise, we would just be one giant electoral map between New York City, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Los Angeles looking for a popular vote win. These 4 states have urban, suburban, rural, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, every sort of voter demographic that you could possibly look for. And that shows that President Trump had a strong grasp on the overall electorate. Point number 3, share of primary vote. Who in here votes in primaries? Okay, primary voters are typically your dedicated voters, no matter whether we're talking about Democrats or Republicans or anyone, really. These are your folks that are directing the party on platforms and making sure that the best candidates, well, hopefully making sure that the best candidates are the ones that are being nominated. There is a very strong predictor here that has to do with turnout. Right now, the only arguments I hear against my points are COVID and high turnout. There are statistics that suggest where candidate turnout levels should be. So I'm going to show you 4 presidents here. Since primaries were introduced in 1912, these are the 4 presidents who ran in a primary and lost the subsequent general election. And the percentage you see here is the percentage of primary vote each of these men received. Hoover with 36, all the way over to Bush 41, who had 72.8% of the primary vote. A low number in the primary suggests that the base is not fully behind you. So if you remember George Bush losing in 92, he had a serious primary challenge, and even with a number like 73%, quite a bit higher than these other 3, he was weakened going into the election against Bill Clinton, and of course he lost. So these are your 4 presidents since the primaries began who lost the election. On the contrary, these are 3 Republican presidents, and these are landslides in the general election, okay? So not just landslides in the primary. You see their primary vote shares underneath each of their pictures. You have Eisenhower with 86%. He went on to win 41 states in 1956, including Minnesota. Right? And then we have Nixon in 72 with 87%. He won 49 states, including, once again, Minnesota. That was the last time Minnesota has certified itself as a Republican state. And then Ronald Reagan with 99% in 1984, and we all remember that election, and I think there was one state he didn't win.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay. So there's some issues there as well. But these are numbers that show you a strong Republican candidate in a general election. So 86, 87, 99%. Those are some examples. Does anybody know what kind of numbers Donald Trump put up in the 2020 primaries? Okay, so you remember people were pouring out of their houses in the middle of the pandemic to go vote for Donald Trump in primaries. 94%. So, look, this is Trump's share of the primary vote with no valid contender to his nomination. 94%. We've never had, since primaries began, we've never had a defeated president with a number higher than 72.8%. This is your enthusiasm number. Okay, so if we want to really reverse things, and you want to argue for high turnout on the other side, which I could show you.
So, bro, Mark, explain that for us a little bit.
Well,
what are we looking at?
We are looking at as one brother used to always say, the data. The data don't lie. We are looking at trends, and the trends show what the historical data and the trends show that when you have certain numbers, you're going to win. Did y'all hear
Them,
some of the dates he went back to?
them,
1896.
the numbers don't lie.
And so if you get this certain percentage in these states, you are going to win. And unless it's some hanky panky going on. And and so and then also in this thing they talk about how many dead people voted, how
Yeah,
many
hey, now
illegals voted.
I saw that. They talk about, damn, they said something like 30 million dead people voted
Yes.
for Joe
Let me
Biden.
tell
I'm
you,
like, how the fuck?
I'm telling you, I was here. I received my mom's um packet in the mail. They voted, they already had filled out all of the Democratic candidates because she's a registered Democrat. But my mom didn't vote like that. My
Mm-hmm.
mom didn't vote along the line. She voted for the person.
Right.
And when she got it, she looked at it and she was like, wait a minute. How y'all gonna tell me who to vote for?
Wow.
And I looked at it, they already had the people checked off. So so I know this with my own two eyes. Nobody don't have to tell me that
Mm-mm.
mail-in ballot stuff is garbage because I saw it in action.
Mm.
So we have to, you know,
Wow.
if a group is saying they don't want you to have ID to vote, something's wrong. Something is wrong with them. Or if a person is saying that, something wrong with them. Because if you know somebody who don't have ID or who can't produce an ID so they can vote, then why don't you get out and rock the vote and all this weird vote or die? Won't you get out there and help that person go ahead on and get the proper ID so they can go ahead on and vote? Because I guarantee you, most people you know cannot point to one person who don't have the proper ID. And that's what's scary. We'll we'll grab the most obscure number of people and then we'll hang on that saying that's the reason why we shouldn't do it for the masses of people.
Wow.
It's it's utterly ridiculous. You
We
know,
gon' we
and
gonna do some more research on that, man. I think we gonna add that in on tomorrow, man. On Throwback Thursday because I saw some information come out about somewhat the same thing you're speaking about right now. And they what was it they were saying? They were saying, damn it, it was right at the tip of my head. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. But it had something to do with the elections. And it was saying something about that. Fuck it, I don't forget it, man. I hate when I forget stuff like that. I was just gonna chime in right where you left off. But go ahead. It'll come back to me. Go ahead.
but but you're right. I remember, just like before the election, when I put up the numbers on, these states and what they require as
Mm-hmm.
far as to vote.
Mm-hmm.
When you're from a state that require you to
Mm-hmm.
have your driver's license or require you to show your ID, see, you start saying ignorant stuff
Mm-hmm.
because you think that that's the norm nationwide.
Right.
When in some states, only thing they require is a light bill.
Correct.
What? So
Mm-mm.
you mean tell me in Illinois I can go vote with my light bill? That's not saying you're a citizen and you're qualified to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So but when you come from a state that requires certain things, you think that's all over. So I don't understand how we got so many, especially Floridians, who have to show their ID and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And why do we have so many of them fighting for not to have ID to vote?
Yeah.
I
I know.
it don't
I know.
it's all about party lines. That's the reason why we do it.
Yep.
And it don't make sense.
Yep. And it's gonna continue to happen, bro, Mark, until we understand that it's not fair for other people to have all of these rights and have all of these pardons, and we don't get the same excuse to what we're doing. We gotta have ID to everything. You get pulled over by the police, you gotta have ID to drive. You gotta have ID to get married. You gotta have ID to file taxes. You gotta have
You
ID to
gotta
have
have
a
ID to buy
business,
paint.
to buy paint. Yeah, exactly. To buy alcohol. To get into Obama Center up in Chicago, you gotta have ID. You gotta have ID to drop your kids off to school and come pick them up. Come on. What do you mean we don't
Right.
have ID to partake in a federal activity such as voting?
Supposed to be one of the most sacred activities in the US.
Right.
And
Why
you
we
saying
fought
that
for
you
all
don't
these rights? Why we fought for all these rights? Mark the vote, and the motherfucker
and
just come in and just violate it all kind of ways,
right. And
it, like a slap in the
and
face.
and one party allow it just for votes.
And we ain't even got to say that what party that is.
This one got a lot of recognition here in the last week. You may have seen President Trump last week
Dude.
put out a statement discussing my findings, in which I determined that there are a minimum of 8 million excess Biden.
Okay, you still there? Sorry about that, bro. You still
8
there?
million. 8
Yeah.
million. Yes, sir. And here's the other thing. Nobody, the food stamp program increased by 40% under Biden.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah,
then when
1%.
you see when you see these numbers, they talking about Trump cutting back on food stamps and all this and that. Like we've been screaming for a while. That's for illegals. The majority is going for illegals, waste, fraud, and abuse. That is what it's and
Mm-hmm.
because it got blew up 40%. We
Mm-hmm.
got to get that mess down.
Mm.
It's just amazing. So much inaccurate stuff to be put out there. It's amazing. You know,
Wow.
and like Trump always saying, I rebuilt our military and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's saying that. It's not that we didn't have a military, but our military, they've been drawing our military down for years.
Mm-hmm.
Clinton was the biggest one. He was closing bases left and right and everything else. But if you don't know that and you just know, hey, we the US military,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't understand what he really saying. I give you an example. The US Coast Guard,
Mm-hmm.
we only had one ice cutter in the US Coast Guard. One.
Mm.
And it was from the 80s or 70s, I want to say. I don't forgot what year. And Trump has made it to where they are getting 11 ice cutters, new ice cutters for the Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
So, rather than just looking at numbers and trying to make people sound bad, maybe if you look into some things and get an understanding of what's going on, but
Mm.
but one more thing and then I'll land my plane.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, for instance, we would look at somebody sent, I think it was Sister Cher, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. We have, you want to talk about censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Censorship is when ABC, NBC, CBS, and I think TBS, all these major stations choose not to play the presidential
I
addressed
saw
to the
that.
nation.
What was that about? I saw that. Then they was trying to tell. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I was watching. I'm like, these motherfuckers said that they wasn't gonna air it because Trump's is lying about the stuff he's gonna
Right.
get ready to say, as if the people can't make a decision for themselves when they hear it. It's like
And we,
we
yeah, and
almost
they,
telling y'all what y'all gonna be able to hear at this network and what y'all should believe. I'm like,
right.
bro, they just did not just do that shit. What? Go ahead, bro. Sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off.
Yeah, you're right. If they say if it's important, we'll be sure to get it to you.
Yeah,
I'm
they say
like,
we
what?
gonna. They say we gonna. They say what
Sift
did
through it.
we gonna skip through it and we're gonna make sure it's credible for the people to hear. I'm
Yes.
like, did
Yes.
they just fucking do and say that shit?
That what's censorship? That sounds like censorship to me.
Them motherfuckers said we gotta make sure we gotta do our research and we're gonna go through all of the information before we air it to you, family. I'm like, oh my god, they did not just do that. They
And
did
this
not
is
just say that.
right. I don't know.
I
It
said,
was
boy,
NBC, I think, that said that.
talk
That
about communism. Have you heard about that Socialist Democrats of America group coming out now and they're picking their own political um people to
mhm.
run for election?
Yep.
They ain't even letting you decide no more on the primary. They picking it for you. I'm like, oh shit, boy, what are we doing?
Well, we've been softened up for all these moves because in our school, our kids have been liberalized to no end, and they think all this stuff, love is love, and if it ain't in my house, I ain't gonna worry about it, and all this other stuff, and and you can't operate like that
Yeah.
because if you let the crazies take over the insane asylum, then it's gonna be real bad.
I
But
said,
our
man,
kids been softened up to this, and grandkids, and we have to take back the educational system, and we have to start paying attention to what's being said to our youngsters, because that's
right,
what the fight is for.
right. I just had this one sister. She was on the Here it is, right here. I just had this one sister on the right before you got on, and she was talking about the education. They taking the books out of this. I say, trust me. I was gonna tell her, but I didn't get to that part because she had to go. She had another meeting she had to get to. But I was gonna tell her that Trump didn't want to take those books out, but the Democrats was taking the gay stuff and mixing it in with the black
Hmm.
stuff, with the black American stuff. And he felt
Right.
like they were distorting and mixing up their black American history. And so that's
And,
why he took it
hmm.
out. He said, well, in the same reason why he shut down the African American, some of the exhibits in the African American Museum in Washington D.C. because they was mixing and it was intertwining the damn black history with
With the
LGBT
woke.
stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that wasn't. He said y'all not gonna do that, so we just gonna start this shit over, and we're gonna put the black history in here like it's supposed to be put in here by itself. You can't be mixing everything with Black American history.
And the gay and the guy was a gay Canadian, a
Yeah,
gay Canadian Frenchman who his exhibit,
brother D, what up,
and
boy?
it
Yeah, go
brother
ahead, bro.
D.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so and that's the same thing happened here in Florida. They mix though, and that's bruh, wordplay is serious. They
Mm-hmm.
mix woke stuff in with black
With
history.
our stuff, right? And it's not right.
Right. And so people who don't read and pay attention, they think of woke, how black folk been use that term for a long time.
Yeah,
You have awakened to what's going on. So they
right.
say, "Oh, they don't like woke. What's up with that? They trying to censor us." No, this woke is the gay woke, the
Exactly.
DEI woke. And so we don't read enough. We don't
We
read them.
don't.
We don't pay attention.
Okay, bro D, what up, boy? I'm gonna share this video with you real quick to show you what I was talking about. This new Democrat
Okay.
socialist movement of America. I'm like, bro, we not rocking with that shit. The fuck y'all got going on, man? We don't listen, man. Hold on, man. I'm gonna let y'all, because I don't like to try to be. I try to be as unbiased as I can, man. But some of this shit is just retarded, man. It is. There we go.
Taking the time. So listen, we'd like to know a little bit more about DSA. A lot of people have been surprised by this organization. Define it for us. What is it all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Democratic Socialists of America is a mass membership political organization of working people who are fighting to advance a politics that makes life better for everyday folks.
And you've done quite well in some blue cities. It wasn't a DSA candidate who won the primary for the Democrats in Michigan, but he was close. There are plenty of people who point to some very controversial positions that DSA takes. Let's talk about some of them. Your policy agenda on law enforcement is to defund police, ultimately to get rid of police departments, correct?
Well, what I would say is that we're dramatically overspending on police right now.
I understand, but the goal is to defund the police departments so we don't need them in the future.
I think it's what we really want to see is a.
Now notice she won't answer the question directly. This is what they do. They play semantics. This is what they do. Hold on.
Horizon where folks are not reliant on armed enforcement to meet our public safety needs.
Right, but it says defund police on the website. That's your goal. And also to get rid of prisons and jails, correct?
Yes.
So if my daughter is assaulted and raped, is there any agency that would seek to find her assailant?
Listen.
And bring him to justice?
Of course, yeah, of course.
What
absolutely.
would it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality that.
She called it a hypothetical. D, do you got daughters?
Do I have what?
Do you have a daughter?
Oh, yes.
I have daughters and granddaughters and a wife and an old lady. Mark, you got an old lady. We got women that we're trying to protect, but I'll let it play.
We're actually facing right now, which is that we're spending in absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing, and we're not spending money on things that actually make people safe and feel safe, which is things like actually well-lit streets. The streetlights in Los Angeles, everybody agrees it's a huge problem. Things like mental health care and substance use treatment. So things that drive people to commit crimes and to that make our society less safe. We're not doing anything about the root causes.
Now, I agree with her on that mental health thing, but everybody who commit a crime don't have a mental health issue. But I do agree with her about mental health awareness. I do agree with her on that.
And instead, we're funneling money into the police.
Abdul al-Sayed's victory in the Democratic primary in the Senate in Michigan, of the 15 counties where a majority do not have a college degree, he lost every one of them, over 15. In the counties with high education, like you, he won. So how can you say you're for the working class when working class counties in Detroit and elsewhere voted against your candidate?
I think what we're seeing is that people who are highly educated in this country were promised this path of economic success. If you go to college, if you get the degree, if you go down that path, you're going to be guaranteed economic success. But really what we're seeing is that there's this huge downward mobility problem where people are putting in the money, taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loans. I have $500,000 in student loan debt personally.
I'm not surprised.
And not seeing that translate into actual economic success.
Duh.
Right. Bad decision, Tom.
God damn. Okay, I'm gonna let it play.
Our society, the scales are so tipped in one direction to benefit the rich and the wealthy.
The DSA also wants to get rid of the border. Is that right?
Well,
if you could afford a $500 million education loan, bitch, you the rich and the wealthy. Okay. I need a 500. I need 500,000. I want somebody to invest 500,000 in my goddamn education. They won't even give me a damn loan, education loan like that. D got an engineering degree.
talk about is an immigration system that is actually fair for people across the globe, and recognizing the reality that a lot of immigration is driven by conditions that the U.S. has helped to propagate across the globe. So, you know, we don't talk, it's, you know, similar to the conversation.
Would there be border security? You get rid of ICE, we know that.
Yeah,
you get
absolutely.
Would there be any other agency to take their place that would secure the border or enforce border control?
I guess I don't really understand why we kind of constantly get pinned on these particular questions when the immediate reality of the situation is that immigration enforcement is absolutely out of control.
She didn't say immigration is out of control. People sneaking in the country is out of control. She said that immigration patrols. Okay, I'm gonna let it play. I may be something wrong with me. Okay,
needs to be addressed immediately, and we know that in Los Angeles, like more than almost any other city in the country. So it's hard for me to take in good faith the questions around like, are you going to open the borders tomorrow? When the reality is we're so far from that right now.
Hey, y'all see how my mouth look? I look like that Michael Jackson daddy on the new Michael Jackson video. On look at my mouth. Look at my lip.
Right,
and that needs to be addressed.
The reality is Donald Trump got elected because we opened up the border. That's the reality, and that's the problem.
Well, I mean, I would disagree with that.
Well, Hispanic voters, male Hispanic voters voted in record numbers for Donald Trump. In fact, a majority voted for Donald Trump. Democratic Party lost support with black and Hispanic and young voters, and every indication is that immigration had something to do with that. You dispute that.
I would absolutely dispute the claim that we opened the borders under Joe Biden, and I would absolutely dispute the claim that that is why Donald Trump got elected a second time. I think what is happening is that we're concentrating wealth in the hands of the few. That's you know, without a doubt what's happening, and that's creating wildly unequal economic conditions. That's creating a totally unstable political system.
If Karen Bass won re-election, would that be a problem?
Would that be a problem?
Yeah.
I'm done, bro. I'm done. She said, go ahead, bro, Mark. I'm going to let you elaborate on that.
No, it's amazing to me because if you look at her eyes, she is just pulling information out her tailbone. She's not speaking on any facts. Everything is feelings. Look at her nails. Look at her hair. She is and that's what I say when I said, when you allow the crazies to take over the insane asylum.
When you rich and liberal, it doesn't matter. But if you're rich and conservative, it's a problem. Because if you could afford a $500,000 education school loan, you are the rich, the same rich that you sitting up here trying to disparage. You the rich.
And what's sad is the only thing it is an attempt to get that divide, the rich versus the poor. And then we're going to do what? Cut out the middle class. Rich versus poor. So they want to go right back to what Biden was doing.
Exactly.
Where the rich get richer, the poor get poor. And how do you stop that? You stop that by opening up factories here in the U.S. You stop that by bringing manufacturing back to the U.S.
Correct.
You stop that by stopping some of these doggone rules that's out there, the pigeonhole people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening now. Mm-hmm. And of course it takes time because you got to build a plant. But we lost thousands of manufacturing jobs, and we made China what they are today by all these agreements. We made Mexico rich through NAFTA. And so Canada many countries done got, yes. And they got rich off this NAFTA thing that Clinton signed in. And then later on they signed this agreement with China. I don't know if it was Bush or it was Obama, but I think it was Bush, signed in this trade agreement with China. They didn't hardly pay anything to come over, bring their stuff over here. So about time we got somebody who's saying, look, y'all ain't gonna be doing this to us. Because you look at Detroit, you look at Chicago, you look at all these cities that were mega industrialized and people was able to live a good life, they are down to almost nothing because all the factories and plants done left. All the manufacturing has left. And that come right back into our small town. Shoot, we don't have any more. They cutting out orange groves left and right,
Mm-hmm.
cutting them out, selling them, cattle,
Mm-hmm.
selling them, getting rid of it.
Yeah.
So what do you think gonna happen? So we got to get serious about this, and we got to realize that this game is a lot larger than just a little piece that I don't feel comfortable. You hear her crying because she not getting rich. And then the other thing is, what kind of degree did you get? You know, how you expect
But
to make any money with a psychology degree. You see what I'm saying?
she got a degree in butterfly reproduction.
Right.
Well,
Bro
Underwater
D.
basket weaving.
Bro D, chime in on that.
well, I've been talking to Juice. You know, I tell you, we on the war, and our people still think that we okay. You know, they accept what's been going on. There's no fighting us no more.
Mm-mm.
We just we depend off of them so much that we don't know how to make it on our own no more. And if they leave us, we don't know what to do. And so you see the frustration, you
Yep.
see um, organizations committed to fraud on each other now, where they used to be together on stuff. So nobody together right now. Everybody, because the small hat people, they don't like um, the whites here. So now the whites here, they starting to see it, and they don't know what to do. They can't blame us no more.
The Hatfields versus the McCoys.
Right. Because one thing, these old movies, I like go back and look at them.
Yes,
Even
sir.
like Eddie Murphy, Trading Places, and
Mm-hmm.
that basic idea came from the Book of Job. It's the same. It's basically the same idea. It was a bet. I bet your son won't do this if well, you got your hand on him. You take your hand off of him, he will cry out and say something about you. But it's the same game what we see all the time. It's the same
Yes,
game,
sir. Yes, sir.
and it's not. This is think about it. This is not their country. What they
Okay.
know about beauty, what they know about building. All the thing they understand is blood. They blood people. They warriors. They killers. And that's what I don't know why people keep forgetting that. They some loving, down home, smart people. We fought each other. The MOOR against the MUUR. They fought against each other. So when they came over here, they were fighting each other still. And the Moors brought those people over. And so this what happens. They didn't care about generation. All us been greedy. And so now we got to figure out how to get out this mess. And we at one time we almost had it. But once again, that greed came upon us. 1800 Reconstruction. Some of that greed came part of us that wasn't slave or didn't have that condition, had money. Because all of us wasn't, what this TV crap trying to portray. And I just know, and all of us know, all of us intelligent, You know, we are natural born gifted people. If I sit down and teach you something, what I learn, you got it. You teach me, I got it. If I'm interested. If I ain't interested, of course you won't learn. But if you interested, you'll learn what I know. I will learn what you know. That's where it been with us. We ain't had all these crazy universities making money and profit. And see that's their world. When we still stuck in their world. And then we try to create our world, they killed us. You know, so
Yes, sir.
It is.
Because I talked a couple months back about Florida. I'm not from Florida, but anybody can see how in the world you got all these orange groves that dying. It just don't die. They've been there for years. They ain't died since. Them trees been there for years, and all of a sudden, all them
decades,
they just start drying up. Really? They did the same thing in Alabama. We have pomegranate trees, blueberries, blackberries, plums, apple trees, cran apple trees. We have all type of stuff. When I was a kid walking around, we just picked and ate.
Hey D, what's your take on the whole Tuskegee thing with the dress code they starting to address at these HBCUs and whatnot?
Well, you got to understand the people now. Right? You know, the people. They sleep. You make laws to sleepy people. So even right now,
can't wear bonnets no more. Can't wear Crocs no more.
Well, because all of them been raised by mothers who don't care.
Yep. Who child got to express themselves, you know, their own individuality.
And you know how we came, some of us came up. So we had to put clothes on. We tell you walk, where you going? Comb your hair.
Right.
Take that out your head.
Because you represented your family when you walked out that door.
So if you just like downtown Atlanta, when I go down there, and even Buckhead, I go down to Buckhead, downtown Buckhead, Midtown, it's not the same back 90s. I know it's not the same in the 80s. True. 80s was totally different. But the 90s, you know, most of the people now, they were born in 93, 94, you know. But back in the 90s, it was sisters working. Everybody had a class about themselves in Atlanta. Now you go down there, now it's not like that. It's like old white men walking around with black socks and sandals on. And it's no business attire like it used to. It's gone. It's just Centennial Park smell like weed.
Do you think it's a age gap or a miscommunication gap with the older generations versus the younger generations? Are we not communicating efficiently enough, or what? I mean, what's going on, bro? Like, how are we?
Well, you remember when every place went business casual, they lost it then. When they cut the necktie, they lost it. And so other words, they had to make new rules. So now doing this, you know, the L people, rainbow people, they was coming in office more.
Cause confusion.
Right. So now a lot of things was changing because this shift. The shift started. So now men used to come in, men, everybody sharp. You know, men carry the dress code. So when they broke the dress code for black men, for white men weren't dressing, you know, they was still doing their thing. But when they broke the dress code for black men, now you see how everything is now. It's we always set fashion.
Yeah, when you look back in the You know, when they was attacking us on the street and things like that. You look at pictures of like Emmett Till and stuff like that. How was they dressed? They had on shirt and tie. They were looking good. They weren't looking all tore up from the floor up.
Mm.
No, look at this new hairstyle. They don't comb the hair. It look like buckwheat.
Right.
Hey, bro, Shaq, you want to give us some perspective on this age difference? I mean, you from that generation, millennial generation. Like, I mean, is there a disconnect?
Yeah, for some people, they ain't disconnect me. I always been a conversationalist, so I can always sit down and listen and observe and then speak. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for some people, yeah, it's definitely a disconnect because a lot, like I said, some of the older group they don't look at the youngs, the great the youngs do. They only look at the bad. You gotta look at both. We gotta start promoting young people that's doing great stuff out here too. We gotta find them. We gotta
Mm.
find them. We got the devices. We got social media. They own them. We gotta find them. They out
Oh, we're
there.
talking about the dress
They be
code
all
and
on my
stuff like that.
timeline.
So how do we connect that dress code? How do we come to a consensus or a connection or how do we correct that miscommunication with the dress codes versus outdatedness?
Conversation. Sit down. Have everybody conversation. Have them form. Sit down with the young people and have a forum. You know what I mean? That's what we are. We are people of intellect. We're cerebral. We're way more cerebral. I ain't gonna say way more but we're cerebral. So the conversation needs to be had. What is on these young kids' mind? Just put them down in a forum, right? A forum, right? And ask them what's going on. What do you see? You know what I'm saying? What do you see in the world? How do you see the world? You know what I'm saying? And just you know what I'm saying? Because obviously it's something going on, right?
Well, let me pick it back off of that too. When I was in Macon County,
where's Macon County, D?
Well, Alabama, Macon County, Alabama, Tuskegee, same thing. So I'm interviewing elementary teachers. So one of the teachers came to her mother. I was talking to her mother, her teacher. She came and I spoke to her. So I noticed she had an attitude. And I asked her, I said, what's wrong with you? And the first thing she started talking about was parent coming into her class, demanding stuff for her with their kids. Well, excuse me for saying kids, they children, because we don't have kids. White people have kids. We have children. So when they came, and her attitude was so bad, she was fussing with her mama. Then I told her, I said, look, I'm looking at you. I see the frustration on you, and I know you ain't making no money. You work full time, you ain't making no money, and the parents on you. Then the job is on you. She said, yeah, that's what's going on with me. I said, it's going on with everybody. It's not just you. But the biggest problem is your children see it. When you go home, when you bitching to your whoever in that household, the children hear it. So when the children grow up, they don't want to be a teacher like you or anybody in that field. They don't want to work in that field. And I said, when they grow up, they're going to leave because they don't want to go through what you've been going through in Macon County. And all of them heard me talking about that. So they looking, I said, right now, I said, Macon County got companies want to come into Macon County. But all the people who graduated that got hired, came out high school with good grades, they left. They didn't go to Tuskegee. They went to other places. And then,
so what type of companies are you referring about?
Well, the companies that want to come there, of course, they are companies out of overseas companies. They overseas companies. They want to come there. It's land there, but the problem is they don't have a workforce. And most of black counties, they have it's a lot of work. A lot of companies want to come there, but they don't have a workforce.
So let me just dig deep here for a minute, D. Why do you think that's so? You think, and let's just keep it 100. I think Macon County is more of a liberal, Democrat leaning,
Yes.
Democrat voting area. Black colleges, HBCUs, and I mean, being a HBCU type of region, why is there not? But you just said it. The people done left the country. I mean, left the county. So most of the educated people left the county. So what type of workers are these companies looking for? These foreign companies looking for what type of workforce?
Well, it's deal with the it's basically the politics. So when a company comes to your area, where you in your town, so the governor or whoever the mayor, whoever the congressperson, they'll say
the political leaders, right?
Those leaders, they say, well, you can set up here, but you have to at least hire 100 people in our county. You're gonna have to at least hire 100, and then the other people that can come, they can come in a place else, but
from anywhere.
But with this address in this area, you got to at least hire these people to come here, so
why are they not hiring them? Are you saying that we are not applying ourselves?
Qualifications. Don't qualify. So say like you got a data center coming to your town. How out of 100 people there, or 15 people that from I just say Lake Wales, from Lake Wales, how many were able to do those jobs?
Right.
So it's not like what I hear that we don't get equal chance, but you don't hear what been said behind the closed door. You don't know what's been going, and so usually they're used to talk to the church, but the church is being so weak. The Congress people, they don't even talk to the church no more.
Brother D, can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, sure.
And something else that happened, and Brother Juice, I think we done talked about it before. We used to be centralized, similar to what Brother D saying. We used to be centralized. You knew where the black sections was. So if you get the word out to 3 people in that section, they ain't gonna let everybody know. Or you can go to the community center and everybody will find out. But when you disperse us out, where it's 10 of us in this white neighborhood, it's 15 over there, it's 30 over here, and we no longer in one central location, then it's harder to get the information to us because we're not centralized anymore. So if a company is coming and they want to train, let's say they're going to train 1,000 people so they can get 200 people to go work for this company. Well, where are you going to advertise the training at where people going to actually show up? It's difficult.
Right. So if that's one of the challenge that I had talked about. That's why the companies, them good companies in white areas. So those people, the companies say, well, okay, we want 100 of our people. So the white area, them companies go there. And so then they'll say, okay, we can guarantee you get 100. So they'll set them white hundreds up so they can bring that company in. Now, when the company said we'll come down to the black area, there's nobody representing us to set us up for those companies. Exactly. And that's what I've been trying to tell them.
Yep.
That's why.
And then they done trained us to say
No representatives.
right.
Nobody
No.
speaking
And
for
they done
us.
trained us to say stupid stuff like
Thank
this.
you.
Oh, I
Thank
don't
you.
need why we need a leader. Black
Thank
folk
you.
don't need no leader. What? You gotta have somebody who's gonna get the information and disperse it out to everybody. Or somebody to represent you in certain situations.
So that's why they keep you the black and white always go against each other, because the white leadership, they took care of their area. So
Yes.
when they say, well, okay, look all this land black folks got down here, we want to go down there. Who gonna say, I can guarantee you 100 people to work? I can
Yes.
guarantee 100 people to work. And then when you start looking at your school system, man, they can't get out their grade.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Or they getting certificates
So
of
brother
completion.
Shaq, how do we create a middle way coalition like brother Shaq? How do we get our younger folks to become engaged in addressing some of these opportunities and engaging some of these opportunities and being a spoke or a mouthpiece to bridge this gap with some type of economic coalition, so that we can keep bringing this economics into our communities, because obviously these people want to invest. These people want to invest in the land, even though, of course, we know they capitalists. But brother Shaq, how do we get our young folks skilled? And brother D and brother Mark, how do we create skills? How do we create some type of network that we can get our folks
Juice,
skilled?
I'm gonna tell you another thing. I went to Alabama State. I went to A&M. HBCUs, and I looked at um, the 2-year schools. And so when you start talking to them, they only got a certain group of people. It ain't for everybody. And that's what I find out what they do with them student loans too. They got a certain people that they give a full ride to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they go. The church is out of it now. They go to the HBC schools. They'll go to the 2-year colleges and say, all right, what type of people we got? Depend whoever at that college. Because what I found out about Alabama State is a company in Texas. They hired all the Alabama State students. Some big company in Texas. And that's what I found about that. So that they cover that. But that's Texas. But in Alabama, there's no growth for them. You see, that's the thing what's been going on. When I was in DeVry, we had this company came from Idaho. They came there and hired all the DeVry students. That I didn't want to go to damn Idaho, but they came there and hired all the DeVry students.
And something else that happens too that white folk are excellent at and we suck at. So you go get a job. I'm just going to say a company. You go get a job at Dell and you're in charge of recruiting. We don't go out and recruit our own. We don't go over to Alabama A&M and say, hey, this is the lick. I need y'all. You know what I mean? We'll go to Idaho or
So I
somewhere
think
else.
the point is we don't have nobody like a network like Urban Matters, right?
Correct.
We don't have a network like Urban Matters that can say, hey, I want to start getting in our folks with some skills. And I ran across this matter of fact, I ran across this article yesterday, to show you what the Trump administration and the FFA is doing with young folks that know how the game. Y'all gonna this shit gonna trip y'all out.
FAA is hiring, really hiring, looking to fill thousands of air traffic control positions. And it might surprise you who they are targeting.
Uh-oh, we got a little lagging, but this is a good art. This
That's
is
exactly
a good
what he
video
said
right
he
here.
was going to
with this
do.
new
That was one of the
campaign.
first
I got an
problems.
exclusive look in.
Come on, don't do this to me. This is
Right, the FAA is hiring, really hiring.
Let me see if I can pull it
Looking to
up.
fill thousands of air traffic control positions. And it might surprise you who they are targeting with this new campaign.
Let me pull up another clip, y'all. Y'all go ahead, bro, Mark. Finish saying
Yeah,
what you were saying.
but I remember, that's one of the things that he said. But see, this is something, and we as Americans got to look at this way. When you have a group of people who don't give the information to the masses, and that's what they're in charge of doing, giving information to the masses, and hindering all these people who think about how many people want to be air traffic controllers and never even heard that, never even knew it. And then a lot of the other things they don't give information on that the administration is putting out there, that you have to actually go to the whitehouse.gov, or you have to listen to the speech or something in order to get the information. When every one of these channels are represented at the White House, but they choose not to give us, the people, the information that will help us here in America.
Well, let me ask you something real quick.
Sir.
You remember in the school system, I'm not sure we're all school system, but when we came up, we had guiding counselors.
Yes.
Do they still have those in the school systems?
Yes.
The guiding counselors, they don't do what their job is supposed
That's
to
right.
do. They supposed to work with students and ask them what you want to do and gear them to that
career
work
path,
that work status like that.
Yes.
And so if you just getting by a student, they don't even talk to them kids. They don't even talk to them. They don't even know about it.
But D, like you say, this is why we shouldn't depend on our alleged open enemies to educate and support our kids. This is our responsibility. We should be the ones that are accountable for bringing resources and information like what I'm getting ready to play. And I'm gonna just tell your family real quick before I play this. Man, y'all make sure y'all send this information to one person tonight. If you hear this broadcast right here, what I'm gonna get ready to broadcast, I told my son about this, and just go to the website. What is going to hurt you to put in an application with the FFA? Huh? FFA. The FAA, I meant to say. What will it hurt? Yeah. Let this play, man. It's 30 seconds.
Well, the FAA is turning to an unlikely talent pool to fix a critical shortage of air traffic.
She say unlikely. They ain't even asking for a whole bunch of experience. Look at this.
Traffic controllers. Video gamers. The agency's campaign highlights skills that gamers already use: quick thinking, focus, and managing complex situations under pressure. Recruits are promising paid training, strong benefits, and the potential to earn more than $155,000 within a few years.
Bro, that's 6 digits, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's almost $200,000 a year. And all you got to do is sit on the screen and play video games like you've been doing already all day. Please send this to somebody, y'all.
The FAA has 11,000 controllers, but says it needs thousands more to be fully staffed. Applications open next Friday.
So where they go get them? Where they go? See? That's what I'm talking about right there.
FAA.
No.
You don't know what an AI work management
That's what I'm talking about.
is?
Where do they go find the people?
Here's 3 new AI.
That's crazy. They coming to us now, D. They coming out. One more clip.
See?
Gamers now getting recruited out of their basement, you could say, and into the tower to help patrol the nation's airspace. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy just announcing the FAA has now hired more than 2,000 gamers to train to become air traffic controllers. The recruitment campaign officially kicking off a few months ago in April, and Duffy now says the agency has...
This is what you call doing your duty for your country, bro, Mark. This is what you call being a patriot for your country.
I agree.
This is how you can give back,
I agree.
Americans, my brothers and sisters.
Met 94% of its hiring goal for this, calling them the next generation of air traffic controllers.
They are looking for people that play video games. Okay, well, that definitely fits me. Yeah, you know what? I'm one of them.
You can merge gaming with aviation. Why not? It's like the best of both worlds.
Bit of the recruitment video right there. Duffy adding tonight another 2,000 candidates are already in the hiring pipeline. He says reaching the academy much quicker than any class prior after streamlining the FAA hiring process.
I'm dropping the mic on that shit. I'm telling you. Go ahead, bro, Mark.
Hey, and this, and you know, nobody's perfect. No administration is perfect. But I gotta highlight the fact this is an administration. Number one, they not old as dust. Only one old as dust is the president. But the president got creative thinkers, and he know how to put the right people in place to get a job done. Sean Duffy and his team, they think outside the box. You know, I had a truck driving for over 20 years, and I saw this whole influx of illegals coming in and all this, and driving rates down and all that. And look, Sean Duffy put a stop to it, or he's putting a stop to it. He is cutting them at the knees at almost every angle. And then what are they doing? Thinking outside the box. They announced all those people that was in Motor T, transportation in the military, y'all get a streamlined CDL Class A if y'all come and apply for one. And now y'all can drive here at home, all you military veterans who drove in Motor T. See, and then like this, that's called thinking outside the box. I haven't heard of people thinking outside the box in our government in a long time. And that's what we need. We need more fresh thoughts. I've heard Brother Shaq say that. We need more fresh thoughts, and we need people who are serious about making America better. Land my plane.
Salute, salute, salute.
Well, let me add to that too, though. I never knew nothing about the Nesby. Y'all, hello?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes,
Are
sir.
you guys familiar with Nesby?
Nesby?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Acronym. National Society of Black Engineers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I never, bro.
I
I was graduating in 2000. If they would have, and that's another thing, like you said, with the local politics, man, and the people. Why y'all not bringing these people to these schools, man, and letting these people? So, like you said, to give these young people, at least give them multiple choices to choose for the future, because they had a program a couple years ago. We was doing a show with Georgia Brown, and they had some they had a couple of widows, like from the what's the guys, the red tail guys, the Tuskegee men, right?
Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah,
right.
Tuskegee
Yeah,
Airmen.
so they had the air pilot program going on. They couldn't. I think it was how many spots they need. It was, but I think it was getting ready to end. They needed young people to come, but I was like, well, y'all need to tap into the young people. I mean, we need to figure out how we can get this information. But it's like damn near too late now, because I don't know what they're doing with it now. But they had a pilot program that was being paid. You know what I'm saying? But they needed young people,
right?
And they wanted young.
See, right now they're looking at fourth graders. Yeah, already.
Yeah,
12th
I agree.
12th grader, they gone. Half middle school, they gone. So right now they at the fourth grade level.
I agree. That's a good grade.
They trying to train that mind up, but when you're talking about our parents, they arguing, they mad at their job. They children hear this. That's what I kept. That's what I brought that up. So it changed their mind. And a frustrated woman don't realize what she's doing to her children.
Right. And one thing about a man, not a male. Get me right. One thing about a man is a man don't air out all his dirty laundry in front of everybody. A man will bring it in, think about it, mull over it, figure it out, find the right time to have a conversation about it, or he will go and consult with God and meditate or pray on that thing and come up with a good idea. But this whole thought that's out here in our society talking about basically get it out, say everything, that's
It's not
not
good.
good.
It's sassy. That's that old sassy thing.
Yes.
That's
There you
that.
go. Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
you
sir.
know what we see. What if you grow up with order, and then you in a disordered place now. I mean, stuff just disorder, and so you got to bring.
Yes.
You got to first. You got hey, slow down. Let's bring order back. Let's get our thoughts back together, and then we can go forth.
Right.
So at different age groups, that's what we're supposed to be doing. My age group's supposed to be teaching now. Supposed to be teaching.
And unfortunately, now we got people in the 60s and 50s who trying to live like they in their 20s
Wow.
and not taking their baton as being elders, grandparents, leaders. They want to try to live their best life. You only got one life to live.
Well, yeah.
So here we are. Our young people are suffering from that kind of
Well,
garbage.
who are you, Thelma or Louise? Because that's the show they show you. You either Thelma or Louise. You one of those. Because now
Yep.
what they don't show you what men do. They show you what Thelma and
Right.
Louise do. What men do. The only men, the last two men that was like that, it was that motorcycle. Two guys on the motorcycle, and they went cross, and that was a big thing back in the 70s, I think. That's the last time you saw something like that. Men, they ridden men off. So everything now is Thelma and Louise. Yes.
Women. Yes.
Yes.
And that kind of energy. That
You don't
feminine
see no
energy.
women
That feminine
on the one woman on
expression.
this show. What? Come on. Only one woman coming on this show. Come on.
Wow. I know that's what we was just saying earlier, man. We got to get more women. We had a young lady on here. Y'all go check the footage out earlier, man. We had a young lady on here. She came on and chopped it up with us. Right, Shaq?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she came on. She was dropping some real concerns too. And I
Because
appreciate that, sister.
one thing I be trying to tell some of these Hebrew guys I know, I said, you're supposed to honor the father and the mother.
Okay. And your days will be long. Not honor mama.
Father and
not honor mama.
Both.
It's both.
Both.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Not some old sassy thing. That's a child.
Hey, bro, Shaq, I post some of them links right here in the chat, so make sure people tune in, man, and hit the like button, share this content. So that NSBE engineering, yeah, man, that's what's up.
Yeah, man, because you're right, STEM. We got to get that STEM, man. We got to try to get them in there, like you said. That's cool. They're working with the fourth graders. I think that's some model we need to start doing, like you say, going to these areas because, man, they got the funding, but it's like I said, we need to organize that and get it to them, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And make it exciting. I mean, put it in.
And
like
not
you said,
only
man,
that, follow up with it too. Make sure we following up with this stuff and making sure that this stuff is landing, making sure the planes are landing safely into our communities and impacting our communities. I know a lot of times we introduce things, but where's that follow up? And y'all brothers, it's our responsibility and our accountability really see what's going on and make sure things is resonating in our communities, man. Even if we just, like I say, we just follow up a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
It is what it
because
is.
see, when let me see, what I'm trying to see, but I think it was when I first started hearing about cancer, we used to say, "Oh, that's a white man disease." 'Cause it wasn't that many of us cancer in the going on in the 70s. We were looking at the 70s. We was young, and that it wasn't many of us
Ashkenazi Jews.
in that group. My mom group, all that. They wanted, man, white people dying from cancer. It might be one or two black that got sick from cancer, but now it's more black people dying from cancer than anything now. All of us been touched by cancer.
Well, that come from of course the gene mutations and weaponizing of our genes. They because that cancer gene, you can look it up. I did. When I heard it, I was like, what? It's an Ashkenazi Jew gene. When you have cancer, usually it's from you have a Ashkenazi Jew gene in you. I don't forgot the number, the letters for that gene or whatever. And then they weaponized it, just like they weaponized most of our other stuff that we take in our bodies. And they have it target the most melanated people, or the most the organism with the most melanin, and that end up being us. And that's why we get the dying from things so much more than everybody else.
Yeah, because we didn't have to do herbals like we had to do now. I remember in the 80s when I used to talk about herbal, man, people were like, oh, they just ran me off.
Yeah.
Now every time you turn on YouTube, every commercial is herbal. Everything.
Right.
High blood pressure, stomach, high blood pressure. I'm like, good grief. Everybody's selling you some herbal now.
Radiation poison. We are being extremely exposed to radiation poison, bro. That's the main culprit, radiation. One of the main culprits, amongst others. Radiation.
So how you treat radiation poison?
That's a great question. We need to look that up. We need to get to it. I would say things like the things they took out, things like not using so much of it with copper, I think, or some shit like that.
I'm gonna tell you what they use to treat radiation poison, man.
What's that?
Potassium iodine.
Okay, there you go.
See?
There you go.
Know this stuff. Potassium iodine.
There you go. Potassium iodine.
Yes.
There you go.
And when people have cancer, that's what they put in their cancer treatment. Potassium iodine.
Right. Another thing, silver was heavily used back before they changed over the so-called medical system.
Well, the silver costs too much for them. So you got to think
cost too much for who? Them?
To process it.
Sell it, right.
Yeah.
Man, I don't believe none of that.
I order silver stuff and I take. And it's expensive. That liquid silver is expensive. But see, all that was in our water supply. When they
right, I agree.
Yeah. Gold, silver, platinum, doodle, all that was in our water.
We used to drink out of copper cups.
A pipe with copper.
Pipes with copper. There you go. What the ground wire that's in everybody's house, that third little plug thing, that's the ground. It's ground with a copper pole. I said, oh my God, these motherfuckers, we just get super played, but we can.
I found out.
Ridiculous.
I found out this since I've been going back to commercial refrigeration training and updating my skills. If you put a piece of copper inside of your AC unit where the air handler is, it cuts down on pollutants coming through your air vents. Cuts down on mold. Wow. It cuts mold and all of that from coming through your house, and so your ventilation inside of your house is more purified. Off of copper. Put
Look at
just a
that.
piece of copper in the tray. You know what a drain tray is, where it drains out to your outside. Just put a piece of copper
Yeah.
inside of that drain tray, and it helps if you got any type of allergies or anything like that. Allergens and what it controls all of that. It kills it. Copper kills it. So no type of pollutants can build up inside your air filtration system, inside of your air conditioning.
So you got to understand something. Our base, that our ground was full of coppers until they started digging it. You know that the ground was full of copper. That's when I look at Ethiopians, the average lifespan in Ethiopia is 120 years. That's average. 120 years. So that's telling me people living older than 120 years in Ethiopia. That land haven't been conquered by colonism. So those people still got the way they eat, the traditional way they eat. There ain't no McDonald's up in there yet. I don't think so. I haven't seen it. I can't.
Well, it has been conquered by colonism, but
You're right.
colonization. It has been colonized, but the land is so vast that there's still a lot of tribes and whatnot still operating on the outskirts. But the city part is like New York City. Even better. You know, they actually they can walk in the store, pick something up, and walk out, and they are charged for it, just like what they're trying to get started over here.
Oh yeah, that system. I saw that store system. You just pick it up. When you walk, it have a barcode, and then it hits your account. You just walk out the door and hit your account and pay for.
But their city areas is just, you know, that area is not as vast as the rural and country area.
Well, see, that's one thing I was talking about. Where look at the condition of the United States, you know, for how Dubai is young. It's not an old place over there, but it blew up. And look how this creation, what the created idea, what they was able to do with oil money. And we had that type money. They didn't do nothing. Every focus, it was keeping their foot on our neck. And then nothing else growed. And so when foreigners come in, they the one who progress. Even the whites here. They use the white to put the foot on our necks, and the whites didn't progress. And so now you got people from India. People from India rule the United States, man, in business. All the major corporations, they controlled by Indian people from India.
Did y'all know that? That's who most you know that's who most of these people are marrying. Y'all know? A lot of your
Oh yeah, they
politicians
marry
and
the Indian
stuff.
sure.
Yeah, they
sure are.
marry Indian women. India, I tell you what, India and Muslims, they playing the long game. You know, because now we're starting to have problems with Muslims because they feeling themselves, because they starting to take over large swaths of different cities.
Right.
So they starting to feel themselves. But they're gonna end up finding out the hard way that don't work real good, not just yet. But yeah, so and Indians are doing the same thing, but they're doing it quiet. These other people, they do it quietly, and they do it together. And the
Right.
problem with us is we don't move together.
Look, they don't have nobody on their neck. They ain't got nobody knee in their neck. We got knees and feet in our neck. They make sure we don't move. They make sure. But the one who putting the foot in our neck, they falling down. They fail. And that's why she on there, the last video talking about the student loan, you know, the loans and stuff, what she was talking about. Man, who care about that stuff y'all talking about? Y'all put your foot on our neck, and y'all kept us from progressing, and you kept yourself from progressing. Now China come in progress, Indian come in here in process, Mexicans come in here in progress. Who else came in here? Samoans came in progress.
Ethiopians,
Nigerians.
Yes, yes, and all of them committed fraud. All of them. And they what happened? Well, we're gonna ship y'all back to y'all country. So what? I got
And
$1
that's the
million
good thing.
now. Ship me $1 million in American money going back to their country. Come on.
Yeah, the problem is these people
Man.
play.
Look,
These people play the long game.
Yeah, man, $100 and they $100 United. Yeah, $100 United States money over there. Shoot, man, that might be like $500.
So they don't want they don't want to go back to their country. But like you say, if they go back and they done some good things for their people, they're gonna be taken care of. But the problem is, will their generations be taken care of? And then the other thing is, see, they still have something called morals and honor. So when you come back home dishonored, that means something to them. Whereas us, I got this bag, so it don't matter. I robbed this bank, and got the bag and I hid it, and I had to go to jail and all that, but that's all right, because when I get out, I get my money, and we feel good about it. But it's some
Well, the
dishonor in
thing
it.
is, man, honor. It just if you're a leader, you're a pharaoh. Our people used to be pharaohs. We had leadership, and leadership make hard decisions. And as a pharaoh, you're going to make a hard decision. And so, if you're not thinking of leading, then what you thinking about? Every man have to lead his household, or doing. It used to be like that, but they took this manhood out of the household. There's no pharaohs in the household. Sassiness going on, craziness going on, and then the one who keep that man spirit, he's toxic. He gets shoot down as being toxic. We don't deal with him, so you don't see black men working, and not because they don't want to work, because they won't hire them, because he's too strong, he's too manly.
Too much masculinity.
Right.
Man, I remember growing up when we had morals, when we had honor, and we'll be like, "What you do for $1 million?" And then somebody will say, "You do this for $1 million?" Heck no, you do that gay stuff for $1 million, won't nobody know. Throw it out your mind. I won't do that at all. You crazy? And now, ask
They
that
do it for
same
shits and
question.
giggles.
Right. They'll do it for a Happy Meal.
They'll do it for
So
attention. They'll do it for a viral moment.
right. So, that's my point. You you have to have morals. You got to have a moral line that you will not cross, because it's got to be something bigger than you. And so in these countries, you have, with a lot of them, not all of them now, once again, but you have that moral thing that's going on. Whereas that dishonor is worth more than the money. That dishonor is, if I come back and I'm celebrated, because I did all this wonderful stuff for my family, my parents. That will make a person feel huge. But if you do all that, you remember with the dirty money, you remember how they say, I don't want your dirty money. Remember growing up? Don't give me your dirty money. I don't want that. Take that somewhere else. That's how our elders used to do. Don't bring that dirty money around here. But now it don't matter because I got the money to help the family. We can't be like that. Because you whoring for money. You selling yourself for money. And we, that's our honor gotta be bigger. Gotta be bigger. Because we guide, once again, we guiding our youth, we guiding our grandbabies. And so when our grandbabies look at us, our grandbabies got to look at us and say, I'm proud of my grandpa, grandma. Nelson Mandela, he went on his square. You know what I mean? And
I think your earpiece went dead, Mark.
Love y'all. I gotta go. I gotta get this one.
All right. Hey, we finna type out too. Hey, salute to everybody, man. Thanks for joining us here tonight at Urban Matters, man. This has been a great broadcast, brother. And see, y'all brothers, y'all gonna be the digital footprints, man. Y'all gonna be the ones that they talking about. Man, them guys right there had superpowers, man. And we gonna be the ones that really take us into the next generation, man. So listen, salute to you brothers, Brother Shaq, Brother D. Man, salute to y'all, man. And y'all make sure y'all come back and join us for Throwback Thursday. This ain't Throwback Thursday now. We got Throwback Thursday tomorrow now. Y'all go get some rest. Cause we're gonna keep it going, man, and we're gonna keep pushing it. And we're gonna make sure we get this message through, man. We gonna be the pioneers and the elders. 4, 10, 4.